Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing a brew that I created called Death by 1,000 Cuts with Kaito, Bane of Nightmares at the helm. This is a powerful creature/planeswalker that we are going to enable, and that is going to enable a whole lot of value. I'm all about value. So instead of splashing white like I did in my previous Esper explorations, we are splashing green, and that gives us access to Ice-fang Coatl. 1/1 flying, death touch if you have enough snowlands. We have 3 snowlands, so we can turn it on. Ice-fang Coatl also turns itself on, so if there are 2 Ice-fang Coatls, that counts as a snow permanent as well. And this just comes out at instant speed, so if you don't have, you can wait until you've made sure that your opponent doesn't have anything to stop with your Spell Pierce, and then you can flash Ice-fang in end of turn. Same thing with Baleful Strix. It's a 1/1 flying death touch, so you can see we're building a giant wall of death touchy creatures, and then we're going to Value Town with Tamiyo. Tamiyo also is a great creature to return to your hand for ninjutsu, for Kaito. So this has a lot of synergy built in. But what green gives us that I'm very excited about is Witherbloom Command. This card is so good right now. First of all, you can recur your wastelands, or you can recur a fetch if you're low on lands. You can also destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. What are some permanents that everybody's playing right now? Maybe Chalice of the Void, maybe flipped Tamiyo Seasoned Scholar. You can destroy that no matter how much loyalty it is. And it's only one mode. You still get the other mode. You can drain life your opponent. You can also kill a Bowmasters with this, or a Nomad Inkcore. Any X1 can die to your Witherbloom. So it's an extremely flexible tool, and we may be casting it multiple times if we recur it through Tamiyo. We've got 2 of these in the deck. We also have Murderous Cut, the namesake of the deck. And this card is really good when you're not using your graveyard for anything. It's just a really solid removal spell. We've got the 4 Orcish Bowmasters. As you can imagine, we don't want Bowmasters on the table when we're trying to cast creatures that draw cards. So Bowmasters can ensure we have Bowmaster Supremacy. We have plenty of other ways of killing Bowmasters, of course, but it's nice to have our own Bowmasters just as kind of a soft lock piece and as a additional win con. I'm really excited about these 3 Spell Pierce. I think this is a really good card right now. We're not going full tempo. We've just got the 3 Wastelands, but the 3 Spell Pierce should be really good against combo decks and against control decks. And then we've got the cantrips, we've got the forces, all of the typical stuff you'd expect. 5 removal spells plus the Witherbloom Command. Sideboard, very simple. We've got 4 Consigns for Eldrazi, 3 Hydroblasts for Moonstompy and Painter, 1 Force of Negation to stop turn 0 combo, 1 Harbinger of the Sea for both Eldrazi and for 4 or 5 color Beanstalk type piles. And then we've got 3 Thoughtseize, which are great against combo. You just take out some of your removal, you bring in the Thoughtseizes. And we've got 3 Grafdigger's Cage. This card is so good right now against graveyard strategies, against Oops All spells, against any deck that is using Green Sun Zenith or Court of Calling. So I'm looking at you, Nadu. So this should be a fun, fairly competitive game. I'm not sure if this is going to be as good as just going straight blue-black. That's what I'm trying to prove through the series where I experiment with Esper and now experimenting with Bug. So leave comments with timestamps if you see me make any plays, and I'd love to hear your general thoughts on this deck. Is Ice-fang Coatl a 2025 Legacy playable card? I suspect it may still be, but we'll see. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're against an unknown opponent. They've played Oops All spells. They've played a card dear to my heart, Aluren. So if they're on Aluren, this is a great matchup versus Aluren because we have lots of cards that we can put in for free if they ever put an Aluren out. This hand seems fine. It's not spectacular. I think we just open Tamiyo, and I think they're unlikely to waste if we open Tamiyo. Hopefully they're not on Oops All spells, but if they are, we'll dig. Game 2, we've got lots of cards that come in. So the alternative, of course, is we just dig for another land, but I don't want to play scared. If they're on Aluren, they're not digging. That was their most recent deck. I did actually play against Bug Aluren last night in paper. It was fun. Cavern on Eldrazi. Okay. I think we may be okay against Eldrazi. We'll see. If they start exiling all our land, we won't be. We are a mana-hungry deck. We have 5 cards coming from the sideboard to deal with Eldrazi. I'm just going to attack Create the clue. I think it's worth pondering here rather than taking just a random draw, because I would like to find... I'm worried that like we might somehow lose both of these lands next turn. Yeah, let's go ahead and stack our deck. I don't think we take these. We're looking for land. These looks fine, but Ice-fang is pretty far from working. Witherbloom Command actually does destroy this and recur a land. But we don't have black. I think we shuffle this. Okay, Kaito's fine. Yeah, if we draw a land, we've got Kaito. We need to draw a black land, though. Actually, if we don't draw a black land, we're just sitting. Eye of Ugin. Okay, this is where the crazy stuff starts happening. Don't exile our basic, please. Okay, they're just casting Kozilek's Command. This is totally fine. We've got 2 more. They're going to get to Surveil. This does mean that we no longer have Kaito to look forward to next turn. Wasteland would be great. Okay, here we go. So I think the plan is we just drop a Tamiyo and we chill. We have Clue activation up. We have Bowmasters up. We can even put a Bowmaster in if they destroy our stuff, and then we can use one of the Bowmaster creatures to deploy Tamiyo. Or, I'm sorry, to deploy Kaito. They have a lot of mana. Green. They get the kick. Oh, man. Such a freaking beating. What are they targeting? They're targeting our basic? That's brutal. Okay, so we're almost certainly not going to be able to get Kaito next turn. Yeah, we'll see what they get, but I suspect they're going to get a Wasteland here. It's just so brutal that this can go after basics. Everybody is complaining about this, by the way. It's not just me. I don't want you to think that like I'm just complaining about the card that is currently beating me. Like everybody complains about the fact that Sowing Microspawn can attack basics and that it can't be countered. It'll actually be scarier. Okay, yeah. It's pretty expected. All right. And if they're smart, they'll kind of like wait for this to burn off. I say if they're smart. Like, I do think that we do want to activate this clue because we need to dig to a land. I'm just going to go get a basic island. And then they're going to take us off green. I think it's fine. I'd rather them take us off green than like, you know, fetch. If we fetch an Underground Sea, yeah, can we afford to fetch a basic now? I mean, our dream of getting Death Touchy is probably over. I think we probably do take the Underground Sea here, and then we just give them a choice. Either way, we are going to have a blue source. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and crack here with that mana. Best draw is a land. They're not even going to let us have the land. Okay, Ponder's not terrible. All right, and they decided to take green for some reason. I don't think green is nearly as big a deal here. So we can attack with Tamiyo. We can brainstorm, flip her. Is that good? I think it probably is fun because it distracts the Sowing Microspawn from our life total, and we don't really care that much about her because we don't have the land to put Kaito in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm here. Oh, man, it's so brutal. Yeah, this is... I think we're pretty much dead here. I'm going to put back these. Yeah, we've got 20 lands in this deck, by the way. And one of the reasons I'm playing 20 lands is precisely this type of situation where we're up against Eldrazi. Okay, I'm going to concede. I don't think we're coming back from this. We know that our top few deck draws are not good. Sowing Microspawn. Ah. All right, and we want to preserve time because this is a time-intensive deck. Like, we don't have any I win button. We have attack a whole bunch of times, and then we win button. So it's going to take us probably like 3 or 4 turns to win, even after we lock the game down. So Harbinger comes in. I think what we cut... I think Spell Pierce is pretty bad in this matchup. It only targets like 3 things. They are most likely playing Chalice. You could argue Tamiyo's not that great, but she does enable quick Kaito. I think cutting some Fatal Pushes is fine. Again, like killing the creatures is not a big deal, especially once with all the creatures we have that have Death Touch. The big deal is getting Kaito on the table and winning that way. Yeah, I'm hopeful that these consigns will be good. I think Murderous Cut is a much better removal spell, much more reliable than Fatal Push anyway, because it's not going to be stopped by Chalice. My brew is being put to the test. Turn 1. Game 1. Match 1. Yeah, this is the deck to beat, everybody. If your deck can't reliably beat Eldrazi, you need to be asking why you're playing that deck. This hand has tons of mana. It has an early Tamiyo plus some Brainstorm. I am kind of inclined to go the basic route. We don't fully have that luxury, but we can go basic island, Tamiyo. I think we do go basic just because turning on Death Touch is good. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to get basics. The surest way to beat us is to go after our mana. Our mana is literally the source of our power. With our island, these are so similar looking. I don't want to click the wrong one. Let me make this bigger. Definitely getting the island here. Next turn we can get the swamp. And we can have Bowmasters up. Or we can flip Tamiyo. Talisman of Curiosity. That is a really good card against Harbinger of the Sea, which is one of the reasons you can't go all in on Harbinger of the Sea as a way to beat Eldrazi. You do need to play 4 consigns, in my opinion. Okay, this is great. Now we've got all our basics. So I think we can just create another clue before we go upstairs. I don't want to shuffle any of these cards away. These are all good. Bayou is the least good. I'm going to play this out. I'm going to attack. I will probably just instep the Ice-fang unless they give me a reason, like if they cast like a K command or something, then I could... I can't both Brainstorm to save Tamiyo and put a Bowmaster in play if they K command here. Okay, Thought-Knot Seer is fine. I'm going to go ahead and deploy our Ice-fang. Now I'm glad I'm not flipping Tamiyo because this would kill her in just like 2 swings. It'll be a bummer if Kaito is the card we rip off this, but we have kind of an answer already to Thought-Knot Seer, like in the bank. We will get a card when it dies. Okay, Strix, that's fine. So yeah, we're just going to gum up the board completely. If they may take Strix here. They could take Brainstorm to stop us from being able to flip. Okay, they did take Strix. Okay, so they're settling in for a longer plan. I like it. Hedge Maze is pretty bad here. It is definitely a card I want to shuffle back. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to attack with Tamiyo, and then I'm going to flip her. I've got Ice-fang protecting. And we have 2 bad cards we want to put back now. All right, we've got 3. I'm going to put back the Hedge Maze, and I think the Bayou goes back. She flips. I'm going to plus her. So I have the ability to fetch a Death Touchy creature. And then next turn I can start Windmill Slamming Strixes. That'll feel good. And basically we're just going to shut off combat as a path to victory for them. Assuming they don't exile all our lands. That is the big risk here. Is that they go after our lands here. Ice-fang loses Death Touch if they can exile one of our lands. Okay, they're going to try to bounce. So they are going to be able to target a clue as well. Let's see what are they targeting here. Okay, they're bouncing this. And they're exiling a clue. So I think what we need to do is we do need to deploy. I think the clue's fine. I'm not going to sack. I want to protect Tamiyo here. So I'm just going to let these triggers happen. Oh, they concede. Holy cow, they conceded. I'm not sure why they conceded. Maybe they just didn't have anything going on. But we did have like Strix after Strix coming. And, I mean, like we're just going to outvalue them. But it is worth noting that Wastegate Battle Mage is very good against our deck because they can exile artifacts. And we do have artifacts. We have Baleful Strix. So Ice-fang is way better than Baleful Strix here. In terms of substitutions, Thoughtseize may be good. Being able to take out some of the cards in their hand. Because a lot of times their deck is so mana hungry that they'll have to keep those things up. But I don't like it against an aggro deck. I don't like paying life. I think being more proactive with our creatures is better than having a reactive stance here. Yeah, even though they got kind of that 2-for. I mean, we were going to be able to recast the card. Ice-fang. This is another Ice-fang hand. Witherbloom is really good if they have Chalice. If they have Chalice, we can't do anything turn 1. I think we keep... I don't want to go down. I like everything in our hand. It's just a question of like, are we going to have enough mana to cast it? And you could say, oh, you should be mulliganing to your sideboard's cards. That may be the case. Okay, Once Upon a Time, I'm not going to be able to interact with that. Okay, here's the Chalice. Let's see what they exiled real quick. Oh, with Once Upon a Time, it doesn't... so they just took a Tomb, and then they immediately used it? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be able to get rid of that with Witherbloom command, but unless we get a fetch, we're not going to be able to return a land back. We didn't get a fetch. Our hand is looking pretty soft. I don't think they're going to be able to exile our forest this turn, so I'm just going to play it out, and then next turn is Witherbloom plus mill ourselves to try to get out of this hole. I thought not. They can take it. No! They can take Witherbloom, and then our hand just falls apart. It just completely crumples. Because Witherbloom feeds Murderous Cut. It gives us so much optionality. They may take Fatal Push. They may not realize how good Witherbloom is here. No, they just snap took it. Okay. All right. I don't think we really have much in the way of options here. I think we just play our land and we chill. I want to keep the green protected, or the blue protected. So what I'm going to do here is I'll probably just end step the Ice-fang. Cradle. Oh no. They're exiling our lands again. Oh, they're chalicing for 2? Can we beat this? I'm not actually even sure if we can beat this. Kaito is our path to victory. Force! Oh, that's such a good rip. Yeah, we're stopping that. I'm not messing around. I think we'll put Ponder into exile here. They actually gave us something we could force. That's great. Thank you, Ice-fang, for bringing gifts. Okay, we're just going to take this. I still have aspiration of him becoming Death Touchy later, and we'll use our life total as a resource. Consign's not a bad rip. I'm going to hope that we can just stop the triggers on... oh, I should have attacked there just because we're not going to be blocking. That was a bad play, me not attacking there. Okay, so they're down to 3 cards. We don't have Murderous Cut up yet, unfortunately. I'm going to wait till after combat because they could have some post-combat thing that they're going to do. That's usually what the heuristic is. Okay, this is them exiling our lands. Kozilek's Command. Okay, well, I'm just going to counter this then. It's too much value. No reason not to just replicate twice, I guess. They went all in on this, so Days would have been good here. So the first copy gets countered, but the replicate does not. Same targets. So we're going to definitely stop this. This is one of the reasons this card is just so custom built to like destroy the Eldrazi menace that Wizards created. They knew what was going to happen when they printed these cards. They were just like, let's shake things up. That's what Legacy needs. All right, Strix, not bad. Strix does get us closer. I definitely want to find another land drop. I'm still anxious about my life total here. Okay, Tamiyo is a card that can't do anything. I'm going to attack. Yeah, they would be at 11 now if I had done what I was supposed to do. We're still vulnerable to them exiling our land. Another Ancient Tomb, which they can tap for green. Another big spell. I think this is our land's being exiled. Devourer of Destiny would be kind of brutal. Sire of 7 Deaths. That's a freaking crazy card that they also decided to print in Foundations. Not a fan. Okay, and they're not attacking in, which is a good sign for us. We're going to Kaito. We can't... Oh, okay, I know what to do. They can attack with Trample. Gosh, this is brutal. Okay, we have 11 life. Let's think. Let's go in the tank. So, if we attack with Ice-fang, which doesn't have Death Touch, we can Kaito. We can just pay the 7 life to stun the Sire. And then we're going to deal 3 damage to them. They can't attack with Thought-Knot Seer, and then we attack again. If they attack in... Oh man, this is going to be tight. The thing is, we can never get rid of this. It's 7 life. We could just pay it. I think it's actually maybe even better to stun the Thought-Knot Seer. But if we kill the Thought-Knot Seer with a Murderous Cut, yeah, if we kill the Thought-Knot Seer, we get a card. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off my mic and think for a second. Okay, I'm done thinking. We don't want Kaito to die. Kaito will die due to trample because that's one of the 7 abilities on this. Get it? 7 ability, 7/7 for 7 mana. Ha ha ha. It's like so clever, but it's like nobody wants to play against this card. It's undercosted for all its abilities, in my humble opinion. How would you get to 7 mana? Well, it turns out in Legacy, it's not that hard to get to 7 mana, especially when you got cards like that. Anyway, I'll quit complaining. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attack with Ice-fang. If they have any sort of removal, Kaito's going to die, but I can't let Kaito die here. So we're going to deal... Wait, this has reach? I am utterly humiliated, but I must do this. I didn't even realize because it has so many abilities that it has reach. Sorry, folks. Yeah, we're just going to kill it. I don't want to lose my dude. And we'll pay 7 life, I guess, because that's how Wizards templated the card. Okay. Yes, I will pay 7 life to prevent this because, like, 1 unforced arrow should not lead to more. And the next turn, we'll do the Kaito thing. Assuming they don't have some other bomb that they drop. They have 2 cards in hand. They're probably going to, like, exile our lands or something so that we can't even play Kaito. Whenever people try to play control in Legacy, like cool 3 drops, I have to here. Bye-bye, Kaito. Our hand is blank cardboard now. We might draw another Kaito. Yeah, I didn't realize Sire of 7 Deaths had reach. I should have read the card. Okay, our hand does literally nothing. We can stop 1 attack. We can trade with the Thought-Knot Seer if it aggroes, but this assumes our opponent does nothing here. They are doing something, so we're dead. Yeah, we're probably still dead. They still have like 6 mana at their disposal, even after casting Once Upon a Time. And everything is too cheaper, so they kind of have to... Okay, they are going to exile our lands. So I think we abandon hope. They're probably going to exile these and leave us with green. How could they have given it reach too? Eldrazi should never be able to block flyers. I think this might be the first Eldrazi that's ever had reach or like some flying equivalent. Oh, they're going for our basic. Okay, well that actually gives me a little bit of hope. They're wasting that. That's fine. There's no reason for us to be casting these into our graveyard. We've already used the 1 card that used our graveyard. They're just going to wait and Alpha Strike it next turn. Okay. Because they know that if they attack, they give us a card. Yeah, good games. Wow. Sire of the 7 Deaths. This is the first time I've died to that card. Because usually, like, I just stop, counter it. Because, like, who wants to play against that card? But it is technically counterable. It doesn't have any cast triggers, so it is like a really good force of will. You could even potentially daze it if you're playing daze and your opponent gets greedy. Yeah, that was not how I wanted to start the league. But, I mean, to be fair, I think that had it not had reach, if things were different, you know, like then we would have won that game, I think. Because what we do is we attack in, and you may be like, you're just being all salty, like going on what ifs. But the line would have been, we would have attacked, we would have ninjutsu'd Kaito in, then we would have stunned the Sire of the 7 Deaths, paid our 7 life. And we could have attacked with both creatures, and then only one of them would have died to Sire of the 7 Deaths. But and then we could have stunned it, but then Kaito would have died because so there was no path to victory there, unfortunately. A huge portion of the game was dictated by the fact that they were able to take our Witherbloom command from our hand. Had they not had that exact progression of cards, we would have Witherbloomed the Chalice and we would have had like basically 4 extra cards. That Chalice was good for like 4 cards that we drew that we weren't able to cast. Also, quick note, Emrakul does have flying. That is like the most iconic Eldrazi, and I think to this day, the only one that has flying that I know of. And I do think that there actually are a few other ones that have reach. There's like this green one that has reach. So I just wanted to correct the record there. Round 2, we're on the play against an unknown opponent with a Tamiyo hand, and we've got the path to all 3 basics. This seems solid. I'm going to keep... we're not going to be able to do turn 2 Witherbloom if I fetch a basic island. I think I'm still going to fetch the basic island. There are enough. My opponent's a big fan. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into... If they're a fan of mine, they're probably playing a slower deck and not like, oops. Yeah, I think it's fine to go ahead and just chill and fetch basics. Also, I play a lot of tempo decks on my channel, so there are probably an average of like 4 Wasteland in my decks. This one only has 3, so maybe 3.5. All right, let's Tamiyo. We could wait a turn and be able to protect her, but we've got lots of other stuff to do turn 2. All right, and now Tamiyo is protected by this Brainstorm, and we can... Wow, we got another... Yeah, I'm going to confuse them. I'm not going to show them that I'm playing green. I guess I kind of did. I'll just attack, and we're just going to chill. This is not a deck that goes aggro. This is a deck that accumulates resources. We love 2-for-1s. They give us an opportunity to brainstorm. That's great. All right. Looks like they're probably on a blue-black strategy. They kept... Looks like they're probably on a blue-black. Thanks for tuning in for all these awesome insights here. Okay, I am going to go ahead and just go for the swamp here. And then I am going to crack the clue. And I am leaving Tamiyo vulnerable here. I don't need to leave. Okay, we've got motion. Are they going to try to do something here? Okay. This makes me think maybe I shouldn't crack the clue. Yeah, I'm just not going to crack the clue. I get the vibe that they're going to remove her, and I want to protect her with Brainstorm. Oh, yeah. Death touchy. It's going to be so death touchy. All right, and we can just chill. We've got Brainstorm, Bowmasters. We've got like all this instant speed interaction up. It's great. I'm in no hurry to flip Tamiyo. They could be playing like Pernicious Deed or something and just make our clues, reduce them to nothing. But Wasteland against the all basics. I like it. Thoughtseize. I mean, we could just let them do this. I feel like Ice-fang Coatl is good enough that we could go for it. But if we go for it, they could have Bowmasters here. They'll probably take our Bowmasters, but we have Witherbloom. I don't even know what they're going to take. I'm going to let them. We don't have the ability to flip Tamiyo instant speed, though, now. But I am a little worried about like casting this Ice-fang, and they'll have information about our hand. We won't have information about theirs. Okay, they did take the Bowmasters, so I presume that they have Bowmasters in hand. So I can bait the Bowmasters with an Ice-fang here. I'm just going to bait the Bowmaster. I'm going to fetch. We get a forest, and thus we have the basic land trifecta here. And we're going to go ahead and crack a clue, and we're going to see if they play the Bowmasters out because we have Witherbloom. Yeah, they are going to do the Bowmasters. That's fine. Not that big of a deal. It will be a big deal if they have a force for a Witherbloom. All right. All right, so we've got our own Bowmasters now. We can actually Witherbloom and... Oh! Man, this is coming out great. I love this deck. Okay, so let's think about this. So I think the right thing to do is just go ahead and Witherbloom and see what happens. And then we can go fetch an Underground Sea in Bowmasters if they do something here. I'm not going to get jumpy with... Yeah, since I'm not going to actually use Kaito this turn, I want to get rid of this Bowmaster first. I should attack first just in case I need a Brainstorm. Okay. So we're going to go black, green, Witherbloom, and I'm going to try to kill the Bowmaster and get a land back. This is my first attempt at killing Bowmaster. They are forcing it. Okay, so now... If I Bowmaster and they have a Bowmaster of their own, it's pretty scary. I could wait a turn. I could just take 3, and then I've got Bowmasters. But I can't really do anything this turn cycle. I'm going to use my mana efficiently. This is a land that's going to go straight into the void. I think Bayou's like probably the least useful land now that we have all our colors. They have the Days, then they have Bowmaster Supremacy, but they do not. All right, feeling good. That was a great rip. Thoughtseize Bug, working in our favor for once. We've got so much mana. Thougtseizing again would be bad because I don't want to lose Kaito. That's fine. Kaito can't be dazed because it's an ability. So I think we're going to get a Kaito. They should attack here. I'm just going to take it. If they have their own Kaito, it's going to be backbreaking. They don't. I don't think it's backbreaking because we do have the ability to just attack it and kill it. All right. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attack with both of these. I do want a Kaito here. I'm worried that they have Bowmaster, but I do want to get Kaito in, and then I can just stun the giant orc if necessary, and Bowmaster will hit for 1. All right, get back here, Tamiyo. You've done your job. I love putting Tamiyo on the bench, you know, like substituting. All right. I think it would be bad for Kaito to do something here, because if they Bowmaster Kaito, like I can't use the Scry ability. I don't think it's responsible to do that. I think what I'm probably going to do is just plus, so to give Kaito some extra loyalty. They're going to attack, but Kaito is on the beatdown here. Scariest thing they could have is another Bowmaster for sure, because then but that's still not going to kill Kaito. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, they could kill Kaito this turn if they have Bowmaster, but they won't be able to kill my Bowmaster and kill Kaito. They do have another Bowmaster. Well, that's very unfortunate. They can establish Bowmaster supremacy here. Okay, I am really glad that I played carefully, because if I had if I'd used the 0 ability, Kaito would be definitely dead here. But we're seeing like the weakness of this deck is Bowmaster, and they've already had 2 of them. And they took one of our answers to Bowmaster. We still have tons of answers for Bowmaster in our deck, but like this part of our hand does like basically nothing. This is terrible. So they should attack all at Kaito just to further reduce his loyalty. But I am going to hit him for 5 next turn. I'm going to plus him if they leave him on the table. If they have a third Bowmaster, it's just an absolute blowout. Snap. This is fine. They can snap back Thoughtseize. That actually helps us because that reduces their life total. And we are going to try to aggro them out here. I think that's our best shot at winning. They have 1 more card in hand though. Okay, there's the Thoughtseize. Our hand does not matter. They'll probably take Tamiyo, I guess, because she's a blocker. That's what I would take. All right. This is a good freaking draw. My goodness. All right, so I think what we do here is we can clear the path and we can put up a whole lot of defenses. I think it's better to go ahead and hit their Bowmaster. It just locks us so hard. This was precisely what we needed to draw here. So always maintain Bowmaster supremacy. I think I just attack with Kaito and then I'm going to plus again. I want to brainstorm and find a land. Finding a land is illusory here, unfortunately. But I think it's likely that we have something we can shuffle back. They're dazing. That's fine. I didn't need to brainstorm that badly anyway. So we're going to hold back blockers for Kaito. Gosh, we're not going to be able to... They're going to be able to kill Kaito here. I think it makes sense to... Does it make sense to attack in with both? I don't want to chump with Bowmasters. That's for sure. I should have plus before I attacked. This was a mistake. If they want to kill Kaito, they're going to have to throw away their Snapcaster in the process. Or do we want to put 2 damage on them? I think we put 2 damage on them, and then maybe they attack both at Kaito. Yeah, I really regret not plussing there. Okay. So now Kaito is going to die. I'll go ahead and take the Surveil here. A Wasteland is not actually bad. We can cut them off double colored mana. I think that's fine. Yeah. I'm going to take this Wasteland and I am going to waste them. And I'm going to hope that it's consequential. They may have like a Murktide or something big and now they can't cast it. So Kaito's going to die, but we're going to be marching out our parade of Ice-fangs. That'll be death touchy. Okay, that's the Undercity Sewers we already knew about. Kaito dies. They didn't attack. I think that was not correct. I think you have to kill Kaito here. Oh, the hits just keep coming, like in our favor. I'm going to plus, and I'm just going to attack. It's a force block. I don't think they're playing Snuff Out, and even if they are, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with both. That's death. Yep, they know it. All right, good game. Wow, that was fun. All right, let's go to game 2. This is what I was hoping would happen, like us having Bowmaster supremacy. The Eldrazi match, I think really, we didn't really have any choice. Game 3, we could have. Well, we did have a choice, which was to mull to like a hand that was softer. But I felt with Witherbloom Command that like Chalice wasn't going to be a big deal, but it was that exact sequence. So I don't think we necessarily punted in game 3 by keeping that hand. It just didn't work out the way we wanted it to. Okay, so against Kaito, likely Kaito, I don't think we bring in anything. Like my deck is already kind of pre-boarded for this matchup. We've got lots of anti-Bowmaster tech. I don't think Harbinger's good here. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it as is. Early observations. Ice-fang seems to be good. I mean, it was good against Eldrazi for sure. It did hold back their aggression. And I think they were actively like killing it or taking it out of our hand because they knew it was good. Not enough data to really conclude, but I like just the flexibility of being able to put him in. Spell Pierce, not going to be fantastic in this matchup, but I don't think we bring in Thoughtseize. Certainly not on the draw. Maybe on the play we could bring in a Thoughtseize. Spell Pierce can hit the removal spells, but the most important spells in their deck are creatures. All right, this is definitely not a keep, in my opinion. The way we lose is we run out of lands. I'll mulligan this. This has 2 lands. It has Kaito, which we don't really need at this point, but we do have the Tamiyo, Kaito. I think Kaito is actually the card we put back here. Yeah, and we're just going to interact early. I mean, we could put back Murderous Cut. I'm going to put back Murderous Cut. We're a ways from being able to use it. And I'm going to hope that they don't have Thoughtseize for our Kaito. Because if Kaito does hit the table, it's going to be damn impressive. They do have Thoughtseize. Hopefully they get scared and they take Kaito. But the correct thing to take is probably Tamiyo. All right, and now we don't have an enabler for Kaito, but they know it's coming. Brainstorm. I think we could Surveil, and we could just not play on basics this game. This is a turn where we can cast Bowmasters, or cast Brainstorm without fear of Bowmasters. And from here on out, we will have to worry about that. If they play a Wasteland, I'm definitely not going to get a Surveil land. But I do want to Surveil to find a third land. Okay, they are pondering here, which is fine. This could mean that they don't have another land in hand. The fact that they're doing this into potential days. But they know that like I would have had to draw the days right there. Okay, I'm going to go get our Surveil land and hope that they don't have Stifle. There we go. This is not the kind of matchup where you care about Death Touch that much. It is good against Murktide, of course. I think I am going to use this window to do a Brainstorm. I want to find a threat. Ice-fang is a threat. I think we can put back some of these lands, actually. I don't think we are going to need this many lands. Ice-fang gets value and goes back to Kaito, even if it doesn't have Death Touch. So it's still kind of like a Baleful Strix. I think I'm going to do like this, and then if they waste me, I'll draw. If they put Bowmasters on the stack, I'm just going to Brainstorm. Okay, so I'm going to keep that land. Now I actually do have the path to just basics. Oh, I stacked wrong. Should have taken the basic here. I'm just going to play this out. We don't have a path to a basic forest anyway with the current fetches. Okay, it looks like they're going to maybe do an in-step Bowmaster here, which I'm going to just Brainstorm. Okay, they're Surveilling instead. Yeah, in the Bowmaster mirror, you almost never want to cast Bowmaster proactively. You always want to use a Bowmaster to kill an opponent's Bowmaster or to capitalize on some sort of Brainstorm. Okay, this is a great card. Respect. Yep, they get the draw trigger. So I suspect they're playing like a deck similar to the Kaito Ninja deck that I played recently. Do we want to go ahead and Ice-fang this out? I think we can. Yeah, I'm going to go and get blue. I'll get a basic island. And I'll get a Trop. And I'm going to maintain forward momentum. If they daze, it's okay. Actually, I could get a Bayou. Yeah. And this way, we're going to have black and green. This is a pretty strong color combination, the Bayou and the island. If they daze here, it's okay. They are dazing. Okay. It would have been great if we could have Kaito'd next turn, but I'm going to start with the Ponder. I don't think any of these are good enough. We're looking for creatures. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play my land, and I'm going to Ponder again. I'm going to hold the Brainstorm for later, although I know that that is risky. Tamiyo's great. We can't play her this turn. Wasteland's fine too. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Wasteland this turn and hold the Tamiyo in case they Thoughtseize again. Yeah, because as far as we know, they only have the one other land, and we may be able to waste them. If they play like a Murktide, that's going to be scary. They Kaito here. They don't have mana for Kaito. I think wasting them will keep them off Kaito mana too. So next turn I'm playing the Wasteland and deploy a Tamiyo, and then we also have Brainstorm to protect Tamiyo. Yuriko. Okay. Well, I am going to be pushing Yuriko. Oh, wait, I can't. I don't have freaking... I don't have Revolt. I'll just have to push her next turn. What do they flip? Murderous Cut. Damn, that's like 6 to the... or 5 to the dome, plus the 1 from Yuriko. Yeah, this is cool. All right, so we're going to start off by wasting them. I'll just waste this so they can't get value from it. I should probably actually waste this because it makes dazing more painful. Then I'm going to just go ahead and push. They're going to get Strix value again. I'm actually going to keep this up. They know I have a Brainstorm, but this way they can't waste me off Brainstorm and then kill Tamiyo. Okay, they don't have a land. I don't think they would be pondering here. I think they would be Strixing if they had a land to get Strix back out and get immediate value. They did find a Delta. They're fetching. They may be pondering again to set up land number 3. They know that I have Brainstorm in hand. This is unfortunate for them, but they could have a daze for this. They've only used one daze so far. Okay, well that is probably game because yeah, I think that was a misplay on their part because they saw the Brainstorm earlier, right? Like, oh, did we use a Brainstorm? We may have used a Brainstorm and they didn't realize we had a second one. Okay, so I think what I do here is I'll just put the let's do it like that. It doesn't really matter. Next turn I'm gonna I can't Kaito now because I've got a Planeswalker instead of a creature. My opponent said, as you might have guessed, I'm on your 5-0 ninjas list. Yeah. All right, so now we've got the Tamiyo going. Plus here. Yeah, in retrospect, I would have preferred to have Ponder. I am maybe going to instep Bowmaster. We'll see if they keep Bowmaster mana up. But I do want to get Kaito going. They may be forced to do something here. They don't have any main deck ways to destroy. If they're on our exact 5-0 list, they shouldn't have told us that, by the way. Like, because now I can think like, okay, well, I could check some boxes here. I think here's what I'm going to do. They don't seem to have days. I could Brainstorm, and then if they do have Bowmaster, I could Bowmaster in response, and then I get some forward momentum. They could absolutely have drawn days, but I think it's worth the risk. I'm blown out and I'm dead if they do have it, and if they do have a days. Okay, so this comes in. I'm going to go ahead and hope that they don't have it. That they don't have days. If they don't have days, I think we're okay. They may have force, actually, and they may just have not thought it was worth forcing the... Okay, they didn't have it. Sweet relief. Okay, so now that's dead. So Tamiyo loses a loyalty, which isn't a big deal. They have an Orc army. These are great cards. I do want to... Yeah, I want all these. I think the most important... next turn, I'm just going to play an Ice-fang. And I'll just draw into both of these. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, we've gotten very lucky this game, in my opinion. Like, I think what I just did was very reckless. If they don't take this trade, Kaito's coming down. They should take this trade. Okay, that's smart. Now, I think I can just deploy this without them being able to Bowmaster for a turn. So at least we don't get a second Bowmaster trigger. And I think I am going to go ahead and Ponder now. Just to set up some stuff for later. Witherbloom command is insane. Strix is insane. Ponder is okay. I think I'll take the Strix now, and I'll take the Witherbloom next turn, because if they have like some sequence where they can really hurt me, I don't want them to be able to take Witherbloom, because Witherbloom is my value card that basically answers all our problems. Engineered Explosives for 2. That's a good card. It is going to be too slow. in my humble opinion. Like Tamiyo's about to take over the game. Oh wait, I can just blow it up with Witherbloom. Yeah, I think it's worth blowing up with Witherbloom and waiting on Kaito for a turn because we do so much, and we can also get back a Wasteland. This is going to be the blowout here. So let's get green, black. We still have the ability to fetch. We're going to Witherbloom. This is going to get rid of the Ponder on top of our deck, but I think it's worth it. And let's destroy. They need 2 mana to activate this. Next turn, we're threatening Tamiyo Ultimate. We're going to get Wasteland back. We know they've been struggling on mana the entire game. And I'll just attack like this. I think this is safer. Yeah, my opponent said brutal, and I would concur. It was a brutal sequence. I'm actually going to go ahead and just develop the Baleful Strix as well while I'm at it. Yeah, another Bowmaster. This game's over. So I'm just having some polite banter with my opponent. I imagine they're about to concede. I'm about to draw a set, half my deck, and I've got Kaito. The game will still go on for a few turns, but I think I'm probably like 98% to win now. Maybe 99 or 100. Maybe 100 if they can't interact. My opponent said, "You're awesome." That is a huge compliment. Thank you, Classic, and good luck in the next round. Yeah, that is a huge compliment. I really appreciate any kind words people throw my way. Like, I'm just trying to do my best to be excellent. All right, let's go to round 3. Round 3, we're up against an unknown opponent. They could be on Moonstompy. This hand is pretty land heavy, but it does have a Brainstorm to fix the draw. I think we keep it. I'll wish my opponent good luck, and we'll keep. Ancient Tomb. No Chalice. That's good news. We are pretty cold to Chalice here. I'm kind of tempted to just waste. They may be building up to some 3-drop. I suspect they're probably on like a Stompy deck. I suspect like they are definitely on a Stompy deck. We don't actually have a good answer to Urza Saga other than the Wasteland that we just used, but I stand by my decision. Okay, we're drawing a lot of lands here. I think what we do is we hedge maze first. If they waste us, that takes them off of creating constructs most likely. That is staying there. And then what we're going to do next turn is we're going to Brainstorm, shuffle that away, and then we'll have Wasteland for the subsequent lands. This one is too late. Like, it's going to disappear, but they will have subsequent, like, Ancient Tombs and other cards. Best thing would be a non-2-mana land, a non-soul land here. Okay, they do have the soul land. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hope to waste their subsequent land after this. I think they're going to chill and make a construct, unless they're... Like, I can't imagine why they wouldn't make a construct here. So we're drawing Wasteland. I think we just hold up. Oh, we could go ahead and Tamiyo and... Oh, we can't both Tamiyo and shuffle away bad cards. I don't think they're likely... They could have... I don't think they're likely to have Blood Moon here. So what I'm going to do is this land's going to go away. They're going to have some constructs. That's fine. I'm going to waste their subsequent land. I think I'm going to go ahead and just Brainstorm to see what is coming up so we can plan. Okay. This Spell Pierce may be relevant. Bowmasters, not great. I'm going to put back the Underground Sea and the island so we can maximize flexibility here. And I will probably get a blue source. Like, I'll probably get the basic island. We are going to try to get Death Touch, because Death Touch is one of the ways we can deal with all these constructs that are going to be raining down. We do have to move pretty quickly, though. Okay. So the good news is we are going to be able to stop a One Ring if that's their play next turn. Probably. Okay. So we do have to fetch here. Oh, wait. Yeah. I do want to fetch. I don't want them to needle this. That comes in. Let's go get our island. Stunning Constructs is definitely not where we want to be. I don't think Kaito is ready. Like, I think we need to deal with these first. Pithing Needle. Interesting. Are they going to name Wasteland? If they name Wasteland, that's a bummer, because we were going to waste like whatever their subsequent mana source was. But if they're just hitting for 3 each turn and they don't have subsequent land drops, that's fine. Petal. I think we let this resolve. Yeah, I don't want to burn a Spell Pierce on a Petal. Okay, City of Traders dies. They have 2 mana. We're going to take 4. Yeah, I guess maybe I should have pierced the petal because it does buff the constructs. That may have been a punt. Okay, yeah, and they didn't cast anything else on the turn cycle. It was correct, I think, to pierce that. I think we're up just against straight Karnforge. Because Karnforge is the only deck I know that plays Urza's Workshop. So we have good sideboard cards, but I think we're probably going to lose game 1. I could waste this, but we're taking 8 next turn. That's not good. We could push 1. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to Tamiyo, and then next turn I'll probably push 1, and then I can Kaito and stun the other. We do need black for that plan. I don't think it's worth taking 4 just to be able to waste an Urza's Workshop. We still have Spell Pierce up. If they One Ring, we have Orcish Bowmasters. Urza's Tower, not a big deal right now. Oh, it does give them extra mana. Please put a One Ring on the stack. I'm going to pierce that so hard. Basalt Monolith, I think this is a pierce. Because it buffs their creatures and also gives them something that they can interact with the key. Okay. And I'm going to grab the basic Swamp here to push. But we do need to do that. We need to preserve our life total. It's unlikely that they have Sowing Mycospawn in their deck, but if they do, I'll be glad I grabbed some basics. So we'll just take 3 here. I think Kaito comes down this turn and stuns this. Ice-fang Coatl is actually death touchy here. But I still think Kaito is the play. Oh, we have to wait till the block step. Kaito comes down. They take 3. We stun, and then we're just going to waste. And I'm going to take out the Workshop because it's a source of 2 mana. I'm fully aware that they could just wait. Oh, yeah, because of the freaking... I totally forgot about Pithing Needle. Well, that's embarrassing. We could have redeployed our Tamiyo. That was a punt. So I think that's maybe the first real punt of the night. There was that really risky play that I did earlier. And I say of the night. I'm actually recording this at like 10 a.m. Fleshraker, scary. Monolith, also scary. They can ping me. They can't hurt my Planeswalker. They have lots of mana. We definitely need to get that Urza's Workshop out of here. It's generating 3 mana now. If they K-command, we actually could die. So having the Tamiyo on the table would definitely be good here, but it's not... I don't know that it's going to be a game-losing punt. We'll see. It's just so bad. Like, it's right there. Be excellent. Read the card. As you always say, read the card. I've had that said to me so many times, and I've said that to myself even more times. Okay, lots of mana in the pool. Oh, One Ring. Please don't One Ring. K-command for 2. Yeah, I mean, this is bad. It's not necessarily death, but it's bad. Wait. Why are they making me draw? I think they accidentally chose me to scry and draw. You can do that. Okay, so we don't want this Misty Rainforest. Thank you for this gift. Wow, unless I'm like totally misunderstanding the situation, I think they just made a huge punt. I've never had an opponent do that to me before, but I'll take it. 7 life. We get Tamiyo out. We flip her. They can't do a lot. Karn. What is Karn going to grab? I'm going to kill Karn for sure. Well, I can't kill Karn. Karn could just grab a key and give them tons of mana. They could go get Ensnaring Bridge. That's a good way to stop me from being able to attack them to death. Because they don't need to attack. They've got Glaring Fleshraker out. If they go for, what's it called? They can actually win. Paradox Engine. Yeah, that's scary. But it's actually not that scary because they don't have a card draw engine. They may be able to get one. Okay. We've got a lot of options here. Spell Pierce. Probably not relevant. I think we start with Tamiyo and then we flip her. Because we do need to brainstorm to see if we can find an answer here. Like a Fatal Push would be good. Witherbloom. Witherbloom hits Needle. If we had more mana, we could do a lot here. Because we could Witherbloom And we could Bowmaster ping to kill this. But as it currently stands, I think the best we can do, we could kill the spawn token with Witherbloom, and then they have to block. Yeah, so I just go get the basic force here, and we kill the spawn token, we blow up the needle, then we waste the Urza Saga, and then they have to block if they... yeah, I feel like that's good. Okay, so cards we don't want. Spell Pierce. We also don't need all these Strix. I do want to keep Bowmaster around just in case we need it later if they get a one ring out. And I don't believe I'm putting ourselves in danger here. So I'm just going to plus this so I don't forget. And we're going to go fetch our forest. Then Witherbloom should be pretty good here. Yeah, and I do believe they have to throw Glaring Fleshraker in front of Karn. This card is just so flexible. It's like the ultimate Swiss Army knife. Blow up this. Kill this. Because we Tamiyo plus, they're not even going to be able to kill Kaito next turn. They can only attack for 1. This was precisely the card we needed to unlock things. And now we can hit Workshop. They can't even cast Paradox Engine with their current mana configuration. Okay, they add a mana. Doesn't matter. We know that their hand is Paradox Engine. I'm just going to go ahead and waste this now. Now we're going to go to combat. How much? You have to choose which child is going to die. Your Karn or your Fleshraker. Sorry, that is a little macabre. I've been beaten up on by this deck so much, and now the Vexing Bubbles banned. Okay, they chose Karn. Okay, that's actually good for us because Karn could have gotten another card. So we're just going to... Oh, we can use an ability. I think we do Surveil here since we're not in the danger zone. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind finding another land. Oh, another Wasteland would be fine. Force seems pretty damn good, actually. I think we keep both of these. Did we play a land this turn? Well, I'm going to put the Force in hand just as an insurance policy. Okay. We can buy back Witherbloom command, and we can blow up their Grim Monolith if we need to. Huh, why didn't we get to... I thought we get to draw off this. Oh, they did... I'm so silly. I didn't do damage to them, so I didn't get the draw trigger. I should have just plussed. So if Paradox Engine comes out, which they can't cast it currently, it's not that big a deal. They should attack probably Kaito here. Right? Kaito loses a loyalty. Yeah, if I plussed with Ninja, I think that would have been better. Because we didn't actually do anything with Kaito's ability. We just chose to keep the 2 top. I'm going to deploy so many... I can deploy both the Strix and the Ice-fang. Like, combat is off for them. They did draw Urza's Workshop. So this is... They don't have Metalcraft. Okay, great. So I think I'm probably just going to buy back Witherbloom and Wasteland them again. And then I'll deploy... Yeah, and I'll... Let's go ahead and do that. Witherbloom. And I'm going to plus so that my creature doesn't likely die. Oh, but because I minused... Yeah, my creature could die here. Oh, I get a green mana. That's great. I'll take a black mana. Because that's what I'm low on. Okay, and now we can go... Yeah, if you didn't know, Tamiyo has an ability where if the card is green, you get like an extra mana. Wait. Let's get the green mana here. And let's cast Witherbloom. I'm going to destroy the Grim Monolith and regrow my land. And I am kind of low on life here. So that is a point of concern here. We do have the option of just getting another land instead of getting the Wasteland here, but I feel like wasting them is correct. Their deck is incredibly mana hungry. Yeah. I'll hit the Workshop. I think I'm going to plus and attack just to get him some extra loyalty in case he needs to stun something later. I'm going to go ahead and attack. They're going to take 4. We can go ahead and ping this. We can do this with an artifact on the stack and surprise them. And then we could, because we may be able to, because it looks like we're shields down. We actually have Force and Orcish Bowmasters up. And Bowmaster may be able to ambush and kill this. We'll take key. Okay, this is going to be a reason that we need to take out the construct. I don't think we force this though. Construct down. You get a key. I don't think it does anything here other than create a spawn token. If you attack in on either of my planeswalkers, I am going to double block to kill Fleshraker. They are doing it. All right, and just like that, our opponent went from 2 creatures to 0 creatures, and our planeswalkers are still intact. Kaito can basically, they don't have to chump, but they probably should chump. Okay, I think this is going to get plus for sure. We have got so much mana. We haven't even had a chance to crack this clue. I think I'll just go ahead and plus here to just get more loyalty on Kaito. I don't imagine they have a way that they can kill Kaito other than combat damage. I think they are going to be inclined to chump here. Unless they want to take 5. Yeah, that's fine. We can pass with lots of instant speed stuff up. I think it's fine to just go ahead and develop this. Show them what's what. Another Kaito. That is a pitch to force. And then we have Ice-fang to surprise. So this game is probably in the bag. But if they suddenly drop like Planar Nexus, then things get complicated. Okay, they concede. Double Witherbloom command for the win. That card is ridiculous. And it is a legitimate argument for playing green. Whether it's correct to play green, I'm not sure. Again, blue-black is just great. But if you're going to splash green, Witherbloom command is definitely something you need to include, in my humble opinion. So Harbinger does slow their mana base down. I think it's worth playing. Force definitely comes in. I think all the consigns come in. Against their deck, Thoughtseize is quite good, even on the draw, because they're not doing a lot of damage, and you are disrupting their mana. However, there's a cost to playing Thoughtseize. Spell Pierce, not as good as Thoughtseize, because they may have Chalice. Yeah, I mean, they just generate so much value, so much mana that I don't think Spell Pierce is reliable. But there's this saying you can't Thoughtseize the top of their deck. Maybe Spell Pierce is better. Grafdigger's Cage technically shuts off Mystic Forge, but they usually only play like 1 or 2 of those. I think we don't go for that. I think I am going to pull out the Fatal Pushes. They were helpful there. They took the pressure off, but I think in general, you want to be more proactive. I think I'll cut the cut too. Just on that vein. Like, we're going to be killing their creatures through combat. Like, we don't have a good way. I mean, other than Bowmasters plus Witherbloom in the same turn cycle or multiple Bowmasters, it is hard for us to remove their one creature in their deck, which is the Glaring Fleshraker. But we can wall all their creatures. They don't have a way. I don't think they're playing Sowing Mycospawn. I think maybe I just do 2 Thoughtseizes. Let's do it. So just a recap of the sideboarding strategy, we upgraded our Fatal Pushes to Consign to Memories, and we swapped out our removal for disruptive cards. This hand seems pretty damn solid. We've got a sideboard card here. We don't have a force. One Ring is kind of kept in check with Orcish Bowmaster. I like the Wasteland. We saw how susceptible their deck is to Wasteland, even with all the mana that they're playing. I think they only play like 20 lands, so Wasteland can be consequential. Turn 1 is definitely going to be just fetching an island for Consign. Actually, there's no real reason to fetch basics. I think we fetch our non-basics. I do want to turn on Death Touch for Ice-fang, but I'm not sure that it's worth it. Baleful Strix. We could just do what we did last game and go ahead and open with a Wasteland. They do need that mana pretty badly. Yeah, I think I'm just going to repeat what I did last game. If they find a Pithing Needle, they're almost certainly going to name Wasteland. Okay, Urza Saga. I think it's better to hit because this goes away and they do need mana. We can clean up the constructs later. Witherbloom command to get back our Wasteland. So sick. And to kill whatever they get out of it. Yeah, I'm just going to play this out. And most likely, I'll just fetch a duel because we don't necessarily know that we have another thing coming. So Ice-fang can just be a chump blocker rather than an actual answer to a construct. We have an answer to a construct in our Baleful Strix. I'm going to go Surveil. I'm looking for land number 3. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be fetching basic island when I have Witherbloom command in my hand. Hedge Maze. That is not really necessary. We've got lots of stuff to spend our mana on. Okay, Consign. I think what we do here is we just flash in an Ice-fang end step if we don't need to use a Consign. But I would feel really dumb if they were able to take advantage of us with the Consign. The other option is we just consign the ability to make constructs. Oh, we can't. We can't do that. That was last turn, so we don't have that option anymore. It's worth noting that we have to fetch before they fetch the Pithing Needle, just in case they do try to needle our Polluted Delta itself. I think they're going to make another construct here. I wouldn't be surprised if they fetch something. Yeah, they could fetch Wasteland. I am going to fetch here. Let's go get Underground Sea. All right, your move. Lava Spur Boots would be good if they have a land. They could potentially hit us for a lot. Like, these are going to be 3/3s. If they have like anything really, they can juice these up even further. Okay, they are going with Needle. And I think they are going to choose Wasteland here. If they Legend Rule this land, I'll be so happy to just Witherbloom and Wasteland them, even if it means taking damage for a turn cycle. I'm not going to chump here. Oh, they don't have a land. This is very good for us. Green, blue. Let's get a chumper out. Another Ice-fang. So if we Witherbloom now, we do make efficient use of our land drop, and we waste them off their sole remaining land. However, I am kind of inclined to just get a Strix out. Man, I really do want to have a third land so we can consign something next turn, though. Okay, great. This makes it easy. So I'm going to go ahead and just play this out. And then we have consign up. And next turn, hopefully they Legend Roll this land, and then we get... Okay, and we have a land for next turn too. So we don't have to rush on taking this out. Like, I don't want to use a Wasteland on this. I think we can go ahead and attack. Yeah, I'm not going to chump this turn. We're almost certainly going to K-command something they do. We could go get Basic Island, and then we're one away from Death Touch. And then our Ice-fangs do trade with constructs. That might be worth doing. 2 mana. I won't... Oh, yeah, this is fine. This is a great Wasteland target. I'm just going to let this happen. I could consign the ability to make mana. That would be pretty funny. I've never done that before. I don't think that's correct. Fleshraker is going to be a consign. I'm going to get my Basic Island here. Yeah, we don't want to deal with this. And this is likely the only spell they'll be able to cast this turn. Blowing up the Needle does reduce the size of the constructs as well. I think they should still attack in. I think they'd be cowardly not to attack here. Okay, and they agree. But their reticence to attack does tell me, oh, they're doing the do-si-do. Do-si-do your neighbor. Oh, no, it's not coming out. That's great. This is great for us. We've got all our basics now. I mean, actually, Ice-fangs are Death Touchy now because they see each other. I forgot about that. So we can go... I think I'm going to go black, green, Witherbloom. I mean, this might prompt a concession. It's going to be so backbreaking. We get Wasteland back. We waste the Urza Saga. They have like no card selection in their deck, basically. That other than K-Command, which costs mana. Oh, no. I already freaking played out the Wasteland. That was a punt. I played this. Actually, I wouldn't have been able to, Ice-fang as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and just attack in with 1. Yeah, I'll attack in with 1. This way, I think we'll deter their aggression. Worst case scenario, like, I do want to be able to consign things, so I don't want to rely on casting an Ice-fang to save the day. And okay, if they have like an Ancient Tomb, that's good for them, but I'm going to waste the Tomb instead of wasting the Urza Saga then. And they'll only get 1 construct out of it, and then their land will go away. They have Urza's Tower. That is going to be the target for waste. Because the Urza Saga goes away, and I don't really care about what they get out of it. I just don't want them to have lands. All right, Ice-fang is in. Let's see what we draw. So much value. I mean, my goodness. Like, we've got 4 lands, and we still can't cast all our stuff. It's great. Looks like they might K-Command here. They don't have enough mana to K-Command for anything other than draw. They may have been waiting because they didn't want to K-Command in the Bowmaster, but I actually didn't have black up. So I'm not sure what the cause for delay is. Okay. Now we just destroy them. Yeah, I'm not gonna be gentle. Let's just take out this tower. Gonna attack with both of these. I can actually just hold back Strix because I can block one and then I can just ping the other with Bowmaster and it'll die in step. Yeah, we've got so many options. This consign makes me feel super safe. They get a search trigger. They're floating. Oh, actually, this is going to make their constructs a little bit bigger. Manifold Key. This can grant unblockability. Planar Nexus. Okay. We got a ball game now. Planar Nexus does a lot for them. I think we let these grow. They're going to lose one in combat, and then the other one, I'll figure something out. I mean, these are death touchy, so we're 1 mana away from Hardcast Force. Okay, this is a counter. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to just consign this. No reason to replicate. All right, we won. We're 2-1. Let's go to round 4. Losing only to Eldrazi, Sire of 7 Deaths. That card was a freaking beating. Round 3, we're against Hadoraxi. Most likely on Necrodominance. I've got a Force of Will hand. We're on the draw, but I'm going to keep this. The Wasteland gives us a way to like clean up if they don't have exactly the combo plus they're mulling to 5. I'm going to definitely pitch Baleful Strix here. Like combat doesn't matter. It's just a question of can we find interaction fast enough. Post board does get a little bit better with the Spell Pierces, but we're going to have to win at least one on the draw. And so let's make it this one. One of the reasons I don't like these turn 0, yeah, he's going to go ahead and complain about turn 0 combo decks again, is it just removes you of agency. Like the game, you just don't make any meaningful decisions other than like, okay, I opened Force of Will. So I guess that's my meaningful decision to not mulligan it. Did I really make a decision when I know they're on like a turn 0 combo deck and I keep a Force of Will hand? Also, it just rewards variance because like every hand only has like a 40% chance of having a force in it. And I just got lucky here. Okay, let's see what they do. They're just passing. Okay, so they don't have the combo ready. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and I think ponder, unless I draw a Spell Pierce, in which case I'm going to... Oh, well, I did draw a Spell Pierce, so I feel pretty safe. Yeah, I'm going to just chill and eventually start deploying threats. What I want them to do is pact, and then I don't even have to win. They'll win the game for me with their pact. On the play, I'm definitely bringing in 3 Thoughtseize if we play it on the play game. I think one of the reasons people choose to play this deck is because it is really fast, so you can get a whole lot of trophies really quickly if you're lucky. It's fine. Reduce your hand size. Make yourself less scary. The fewer cards in hand, the less daunted I will feel. They put a Cabal Ritual behind it. Dark Ritual. Exiling Spirit Guide. This is going to be a Beseech. I'm just going to pierce this. They can't have... And I'll show them my Underground Sea. They can't have both... they can't have 2 Spirit Guides, is what I'm trying to say. They just reduced their hand to 1. And I didn't even have to force. Okay, we won. All right, so on the draw, if they give us a turn, Thoughtseize is good. I mean, we should put it in. I don't think they'll give us a turn. Especially not after we did what we did. Bowmasters doesn't do anything here. You might think, oh, Bowmasters is good because it they can't use Necrodominance, but they can just draw a bunch of cards and then win on the stack through instance. Fatal Push comes out. Murderous Cut comes out. Consigns might as well come in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it is a blue card for force. It can potentially stop a Mox. One more card to bring in. Harbinger actually is a blue card, and it might stop them. They do have red spells in their deck. They're not common. I think Hydroblast is probably better than just random red spell. Witherbloom command can come out. It's just not going to matter, frankly. I'd rather have blue spells. Okay. Yeah, we're like literally every card in our deck is blue except for these 3 Thoughtseizes. So I think we're going to have a pitch for force. This game just comes down to, okay, do they have Pact plus the combo? How deep do they have to mulligan? Hydroblast stops, what is it called? Manamorphose. It also stops the thing that lets them discard their hand. In a total pinch, it could be that the Hydroblast is relevant. I don't think it will be, but it does pitch to force, which is more than I can say for Witherbloom command. You could argue like we could take out a land and make our deck even more, but I don't like to do that just in case we do have to actually play the game. This doesn't have a force. Mulligan. It seems like a great hand, but it doesn't have a force. This is the nuts. The absolute nuts. I think that we pitch Kaito here. So we have 3 forms of interaction, essentially, if we get a turn. We only have 1 if we don't. They kept 6, so we're probably dead. They're going to assume that we keep a force hand. I don't think they're going to be crazy enough to... And sometimes they just don't do anything for a turn or two, and they build up resources, and that favors us. All right, my kids are playing piano in the background as we wait for Hadoraxi to decide how they want to play this. All right, that's what I like to see. So now our Thoughtseize will be relevant along with our consigns. Probably not. So they can't pact Thoughtseize, which is why it's so powerful, because they'll lose. So a lot of times I think they just scoop when you Thoughtseize them. Okay, so they have Beseech, which is going to be the take. We just ignore these other ones. But they don't have... So they're at least 2 draws away from victory. So they need to draw a win con, which they have 7 left in their deck. They're Manamorphosing, which is fine. It's just a cantrip. If we draw Wastelands, we can go after their permanent sources and restrict their ability to use these long term. And this man is likely just going to burn off. Yeah. Land would be great. I'm going to ponder for a land. We've got plenty of blue cards. Another Thoughtseize is great. I don't think we keep this because I want land and I need to actually develop a game plan here. We could get lucky and just rip a land. All right, we get lucky and rip a land, and now Consign is up along with a lot of other interaction, and we can actually just Strix Ice-fang next turn, and then we don't ever have to drop off Consign. Consign's not great. It doesn't really answer much at all, but it will answer like I'm trying to think of cards that it's relevant against. It does stop Necrodominance trigger for 1 turn, so we could time walk twice if we needed to, but our deck is not going to win by time walking them. Like, we need to take total control of the game and then beat them down with our weenies. I boarded out our best beater in the deck probably, other than Kaito, which is Bowmaster. So, yeah. All right, so they're passing. I'm just going to surveil. Strix. It's a blue card. I don't think we need it. Looking for a second force. Second force basically closes the door. Okay. Brainstorm is a good card. I still think we just Ice-fang to get on board. Let's just do that. It's going to be a long, long beatdown. All right, they're not doing anything. Ice-fang comes out. The card is Force of Negation. Feeling favored. Hydroblast. Not a great card. I think because we now have 2 forms of interaction, I think I am okay with Strixing. This doubles our clock. All right, let's pass. I'm trying to think if would they play Veil? What would they play that would be relevant that could stop us at this point? They've got 7 cards in hand, though. It's interesting they never played out this vault. Wait. Yeah, they never played it out. Okay, there it is. At this point, I want to ponder to find a Kaito. I'm just worried about this game going on too long. There are some unknowns. I've played against this deck so many times, but I still don't really know what it's capable of. They have double pact. That would be bad. Necrodominance. I think I'm just going to force here. Pitch a Consign. Okay. We've gone through 2 of their 8 threats. if you want to consider a Beseech a threat, like things that get Necrodominance onto the table. Summoner's Pact. They do have the ability to pay for this. What could they be getting? Wild Canter. Okay, that comes out. If they tap this pedal, they're dead. Beseech. Force, Pitch, Hydro. They're dead to their pact. They have 0 cards in hand. Good games. Yeah, I think we got lucky finding that second. And maybe it was greedy for me to play at the Baleful Strix because, Hydro... Would Hydro have been good there? I mean, Hydro technically would have countered Wild Canter. That doesn't seem very good. But they did have to use every single piece of mana, so I think it was probably not correct for me to play out the Baleful Strix there, and probably I should have just been patient. But we haven't lost a single game except against Eldrazi. This deck is pretty good. I immediately feel like this is better than the Esper version. Round 5, we're up against an unknown opponent with a terrifying name, Phyrexian Wombat. This hand seems fine. I'm going to keep it. It's got value. It's got Paths to Basics. I like Spell Pierce. If they don't turn 1 off, I'll feel pretty good. All right. This might be tempo. If this is Reanimator, that'll be more troubling. I think our Swamp is more important of the cards. Yeah, I'm going to leave with this, and then I can fetch the basic island and Spell Pierce if I need to. Underground Sea strategies, 9 out of 10 of them have Wasteland. Okay, yeah, this is likely Reanimator. Thoughtseize. I mean, sadly, I think we have to let them do this, and then they may have a troll, which we can't deal with. We would have to put several consecutive creatures into play in time. But I do think I let this resolve, because if I pierce and they reanimate, they could just daze it, and that would be bad. Let's think about this. We can get enough creatures in play to kill troll, and a single Strix in the blocker mix kills it. So we'd go, they attack. So next turn, they reanimate, they go down to 14. Their life total doesn't matter. They attack. We block. Or we have to take 6, and then they attack again. Okay, we're fetching both lands. And then we get our second creature, and then they attack again before we have our third creature. So I don't think blocking... Well, I mean, if we play Bowmaster and Strix as our 2 creatures, that works, but that relies on them not having any interaction at all, and we lose all 3 of them. Because they could have a Bowmaster as their own. I'm gonna let them do it. I mean, we can still take that course of action, even if they take Pierce. But if they don't have a Daze and they don't take the Pierce, they may have to take the Pierce now. And it does do 2 damage to them, and they are going to be reanimating. Yeah, here's a reanimate. Another Thoughtseize. Okay, well, I'm actually glad that I didn't do anything here, because they're going to do a lot of damage to themselves. And I don't really care about any of these. No one card in my hand is important. Bowmasters is the best card. They may take it. If they take it, that might mean they have their own Bowmaster, and my hand is blank cardboard. It's a threat we're going to have to... Or it's a risk we're going to have to take, though. Okay. Bowmaster down. I'm going to Surveil. I think Surveilling is more important, because if we can rip a Force to stop their reanimation effect, that'll be good. Spell Pierce, I think, is keepable for sure, because they may... Now we can Ice-fang end step, and we can hold up Pierce with Daze Protection. I think this is good. They had the coast clear to reanimate, and they didn't reanimate, so maybe they don't have a reanimation effect here. Okay, I'm going to attempt to put in my Ice-fang, and I think it's highly likely they have a Bowmaster here. I Entomb. Okay, so we're going to have to definitely stop the reanimation effect, because we can't stop this Entomb. And they may have as many as 4 lands out next turn. They put Archon out. That's scary. I think we don't have the luxury of getting basics here. I'm going to get an Underground, see. Because if they start wasting us, which their deck most likely plays Wasteland, things get ugly very quickly. They're dazing this. They're brainstorming in response. Okay. It's not a big deal. Like, I think that they are playing very aggressively with this Brainstorm. I don't think it's necessary. They could use it to protect later. Okay. But I don't know what's in their hand. There's the force that we wanted. All right. Second spell Pierce. Well, I'm just going to hold up double Pierce and Force, and then we can Ice-fang again next turn. We're going to start chipping away their life. They're going to see each other. I don't think we have the luxury of dropping anything here. We need to stop Archon from hitting the table. Another Troll's fine. Now they have 4 lands, so Spell Pierce is not particularly good. Okay, if they go for it this turn, then Spell Pierce is good. But Spell Pierce, the value is rapidly diminishing. Okay, I'm just going to do a second Ice-fang and hope, again, that they don't have a Bowmaster. They may not play a Bowmaster. It might be a sideboard card. Oh, Wasteland is good. It keeps Spell Pierce live. I think all we can do here is waste and hold up Spell Pierce. I'm trying to think of what else would make sense here. I think we want to hold up double Pierce and Force. I'm going to attack first. The good news is we do have lots of creatures we can sack to Archon. If we play out a Strix, then we are off the Pierce plan. I don't think that's correct. I'm going to go ahead and just waste this now. I don't want them recurring it for value. Another Entomb. Okay. These Spell Pierces, we're going to have to hold up Spell Pierce for the rest of the game, unfortunately. They've just got so much juiciness in their graveyard. So we have to hope that their reanimation effect, when they eventually find it, is Animate Dead. Okay. No play. We can't do anything. Just keep hitting them. Ice-fang Coatl number 3 is good. It does turn on death touchiness for the other ones. So we're going to do that in step. But again, still holding up double Pierce Force. And we do have a clock. It may seem ridiculous that we have a clock, but we do technically kind of have a clock. Bowmaster. Sadly, this is going to be a Force. This is just too good against us. I think the pitch is Strix, because if they manage to ram this through, it's really bad for us. If they fight back, we have Pierce. We will pierce their Force. They're Hellbent. We have a Pierce as the sole thing to stop their reanimation effect. And they should reanimate. Okay, Wasteland. That's not good for us, but it's not horrific. Okay, this is like, yeah, okay. That burns off. So I am going to have to ponder here and find a land. I can't just chill on one land because they could drop another Wasteland. Okay, this is good. Now we do have end step Ice-fang Coatl, and we have Pierce up till end step. We just need to dodge their sorcery-based cards. We don't care about their instant-based cards. If they do have a Bowmasters, that is bad for us. Okay, no play. Green, blue, Ice-fang. Now they're all super death touchy. I think it's okay to ponder here. I'm going to attack first. We're getting them out of reanimate range. This card is so much better than Baleful Strix here because we've been able to protect ourselves. Like, even though it may not seem like it, like we have been protecting ourselves the entire time. I'm going to ponder for a land. If they, okay. These are great cards, but they're not what we need. We need land. We're going to have to chill. 2 more swings. Pierce is our sole protection spell. If they have land into Animate Dead, that's probably the ball game. One card that they could rip that's terrifying. Okay, we won. Wow. Phyrexian Metamorphosis or Metamorphosis Fanatic is a card that they could have ripped that would have just devastated us. Cages come in against their obvious heavy Reanimator strategy. Like, even if they take out the thing is, banning Frog like took away a lot of their backup game plan. I think Witherbloom Command does play here because it kills Bowmaster, and I expect Bowmaster to come out. I think we take the Fatal Pushes out. We've got lots of ways to deal with small creatures. We'll see how heavy they bring in the small creatures. I think Force of Negation is warranted here, considering how many blue cards we have in our deck, and considering that the only thing we really fear is them reanimating something. So we've definitely made our offensive plan a lot weaker. We still have Kaito to win, and we still have our Bowmasters. I'm not cutting any lands because they're a tempo deck. Yeah, I think we do it like this. I'm not even sure what this deck, like if this deck has settled. But Witherbloom is good if they bring in Tamiyos and they're trying to, like, they may be doing a fair plan with Tamiyo. I'm not sure what their fair plan looks like. All I know is these 3 Grafdigger's cages should be good. And then all we need to worry about is stopping Brazen Borrower. This, assuming they don't just turn 1 us, or I think we keep this. I think we island into cage. If they turn 1 Thoughtseize, that's a big deal. But I don't think we mulligan to force. Island. Okay, great. This means as long as they don't have days, we can cage. I am going to get a basic island here. Okay. How much do we risk it? I think it's better to just go ahead and do this. And if they burn a daze on it, maybe we find a second one. It's in. That's great for us. I would say we're maybe like, now we're 60% to win this game. Just on the back of that. Thoughtseize is fine. They're going to take our Bowmaster probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they had Bowmaster. They did take the Bowmaster. They're pondering. I'm going to go ahead and ramp out this Baleful Strix now. They don't have a threat in their graveyard, and what they need to do is borrow and do something else. We could Tamiyo and take the Tamiyo Ultimate Train. I think Strix is better here just because it is insulation. Strix gets really bad as the game progresses. I'm trying to think. If we do the Tamiyo, they could just daze it. Is Strix what we want here? They just conceded. Wow, we got there. That's a 4-1. We faced some serious decks. We faced Eldrazi, which was our 1 loss. And I think that we could have easily won that game. I think this is a decent Eldrazi matchup with all our creatures like Baleful Strix and like so much value and so many basic lands. Let's take a look at the list again. So I think that this is a pretty good Eldrazi matchup is what I was saying. Chalice ain't got nothing on Witherbloom unless they force you to discard it, which is what happened. Witherbloom was so good that I'm tempted to like go up to 3, but the problem is I really don't think we have the mana. Like, it's just, we don't have the mana to be constantly multi-spelling. We had to pick and choose. 3 Pierces felt amazing. I definitely think 3 Pierces is correct. Murderous Cut did come up one time. I think we cut something. And it is good to just have like something to do with your graveyard. When you're not using your graveyard, you're conceding like a pretty powerful resource that like is the backbone of a lot of decks. And I think that at least we're using this. I mean, we're using Witherbloom for our graveyard too. I didn't miss Murktide. I think Murktide, like, I think Kaito is just like better Murktide if you built your deck around him to support him. I don't really have any changes I would make. I would love to bring in another Witherbloom, but I think that it is greedy. Like the diminishing marginal value of a card, especially a card like Witherbloom, drops with each subsequent one. So having 1 is amazing. Having 2, each one is good. Having 3, they're probably still positive, but like, yeah, I don't want to give up a Pierce. Not in this, meta. Like Pierce was just insane. Like protecting, stopping. I think we probably like stopped the one. We probably stopped a lot of stuff with this. So I think this list feels great, and I'm going to run another league with it. Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Bug Kaito. Kaito is an insane planeswalker that rewards bouncing value creatures back to your hand, so why not play a bunch of value creatures? Ice-fang Coatl, Death Touch, Flash. This has all of the merits. You have to play some Snow basics in order to get the Death Touch trigger, the Death Touch static ability turned on, but it's so good. Baleful Strix, amazing card. Cantrips, deals with blockers. Orcish Bowmasters. I don't need to say anything about this card. So, Kaito can bring these back to your hand after you successfully attack. Note that these all have flying, and so does Tamiyo. So you are going to be able to Kaito regularly. Green also gives us Witherbloom command. This card has been insane. It removes flip Tamiyos. It does tons of stuff. So I would recommend using Witherbloom command to destroy your opponent's resources. We've got 4 Fatal Push. We've got a Murderous Cut. This is pretty cool. 3 Spell Pierce. This is really good anti-sorcery stuff, anti-instant stuff. And it can stop powerful permanents like the One Ring. Opponents are not generally going to play around Pierce. They're going to play around Daze, which we're not playing because we're not a tempo deck. We do have 3 Wastelands, and we can recur those Wastelands and grind our opponent's mana base to dust, but that's not the main thing we're doing. The main thing we're doing is just putting a bunch of value, drawing a bunch of cards, and then eventually getting Kaito out and drawing even more cards while we stun our opponent's creatures and beat them down over many turns. This is really good against combo decks, I feel like, with the Pierces. And I think it's okay against mid-range just because, like, if we go up against Jeskai control, everything's a 2-for-1, so it's going to be hard for them to keep up. Sideboard, we've got Consigns, we've got Hydroblasts, we've got a Force of Negation, a Harbinger, and we've got 3 Cages, which are just super clutch right now. Like, they're good against so many different decks in the meta. And then I've got 3 Thoughtseize in case we go up against combo. Pretty simple, straightforward deck. Playing it is just a blast because you're constantly drawing cards and getting to interact in different fun ways. I think this is going to be a fun league. I already have a 4-1 in the bank with this. So, yeah, this is a deck to be reckoned with. And I'm calling this 1,000 Cuts. Death by 1,000 Cuts featuring Kaito. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against a likely initiative gamer. Let's do this. On the play, I mean, Force is good. Hedge Maze does get us some selection. I mean, it may sound crazy, but if they're on the initiative, I want to keep this because this stops their first big volley. Get some card selection. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. These cards are great against initiative if they are on initiative. They've been playing a lot of initiative and Stompy. Look at this. So they're usually on the red-green variant. Hedge Maze, Surveil, let's fly into land. We find a land. It's not exactly the land we want, but I'm going to keep it because we do have Ice-fang Coatl, and that can take the initiative if it is introduced through a Cavernous Holes. Okay. It's a promising start because if they dump like their entire hand into a big turn 1 play, okay. I think we force this. We are leaving ourselves vulnerable to them following up with something really good, but I mean, we have Flip Tamiyo next turn. That's good even if they do have Blood Moon. Yeah, I think this generates so much value for them, and it produces mana, which they don't have stable mana right now. That land is going to die. So I think we pitch Strix, since Ice-fang Coatl can actually be cast. Actually, we could cast Kaito. Kaito can win us the entire game. I feel like we do keep Kaito around. Yeah, so Strix, you're out. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and immediately flip her. I don't know that my opponent has a lot they can do about this. They could Fury her, but... Oh yeah, Fury does do 4. Okay, we didn't hit a land. That's troubling, to say the least. I think next turn we're going to Ice-fang, assuming they don't do anything to screw with our mana. Yeah, we could definitely lose here if they have Fury into something else. But if they don't, then Tamiyo's going to keep taking up. Okay, Cavern. Okay, they're introducing the initiative. So we're going to take the initiative with Ice-fang. We have lots of basics to take. Assuming that they don't do something with Fury. This does have Vigilance. It can produce a lot of mana. So this is good. Like, I was more afraid of them playing a card. I'm going to plus here. I could minus and get Force back. Let's see. If we minus and get Force back, they're going to attack it anyway. I think this might keep it if they forge. Okay, if they forge, she's dead. They forge, she's dead. If they don't forge, let's see, they're going to hit for 5 plus 5 off of the trap next turn, maybe. So that does reduce our number of turns. Ice-fang only temporarily takes the initiative. They can take it back every time they attack. This doesn't have reach, it's just Vigilance. Even if they forge and they attack for 5, she survives. And they'll actually attack for 4. I think I want to distract them. All right, I'll pass. The scariest thing they could do is somehow kill my Ice-fang because that's my path to taking the initiative. We are going to shuffle one of the bad cards. No, we're going to draw. So we drew. Yeah, we're going to go get our basic swamp here. They are forging. They are going for her. She drops to 2. Mountain. Another initiative creature. Oh, Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, so I'm going to take the initiative here. We do get a card. We're going to go get our swamp, and then we can deploy a Bowmasters. We can block both of these. That feels pretty good. Bowmaster can actually kill and block. Oh, we got a basic. But I actually, let's see, do we want to Kaito here? We could Kaito stun. We take the initiative. But then we don't have a way to block and they get the initiative back. I still think that that's probably fine. Yeah, I think that that's the line. We get our Ice-fang back. We get another card offer. Okay, so let's plus Tamiyo. We have to play this land out before we take the initiative. I'm just going to go get it. I guess I could get a basic swamp and start working toward Death Touch. We're going to get a basic island when we attack. So we attack here. Go to block. They can't block. Blue, colorless. Kaito comes down. Bounce this to hand. They take 3. We get the initiative. We're going to go get a basic island. Now I'm going to stun this. They can attack Kaito if they want. It'll only do 1 damage. It makes more sense to just take the initiative from us. If they cast another initiative creature, they'll be able to trap and archive this turn, which will be bad. They are attacking us to take the initiative. So we only take 1 here. Next turn, we can get the initiative back and we can do a lot of other stuff, but we'll see what they do with their initiative here. We're taking 5. Our life total is feeling pretty flush thanks to Tamiyo taking a hit last turn. Thank you, Tamiyo. Oh no, this is a big creature. Oh, never mind. They had to exile 1 for green. Oh, I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling so good. Yeah. Bowmasters is going to help clean up. We're going to have an Ice-fang. We'll be able to defend the initiative. So first things first, I think we can't push this out of the way because it's a 3-drop. We could Witherbloom, get back our fetch, and then we could Bowmaster, and then we can attack and take the initiative. I think that works. So I'm going to mill, and then I'm going to minus this. We're going to get back a fetch. Now we're going to play fetch for turn. Get Underground Sea. Sadly, we can't get other sources because we need a black. I guess it makes sense to get a Bayou just for additional. No, I need additional blue just in case. Okay, now we're just going to go boom, boom. Bowmasters. This also produces a ton of blockers. If we plus Tamiyo, I think I'm going to go ahead and plus give it an emblem. We can just double block this, and then we can plus Tamiyo, but I think it's probably safer to just buy back a force because we have lots of, yeah. So let's go ahead and attack first. We get the initiative. Actually, I can just buff up my army. I might as well buff up Bowmaster. That way Bowmaster can just straight up block. Let's forge onto our Bowmaster. Bowmaster can be relevant if they have like 1 ring or something. Now I'm just going to minus. I'm going to grab a force. This should be good insurance against a lot of things they can do here. They do have, this is just for giant. So unless they have another one of these, they're not going to be able to get the initiative back this turn. We can force anything else. Let's pass. We can always stun the Undermountain Adventurer again if we need to. And they have conceded. All right. Sideboard, we're bringing in our Pyros. I think Thoughtseize is a great card against them on the play. On the draw, I'm not convinced it's that great. Chalice is probably better than nothing just because we do need to stop them doing like Chalice. Or I'm sorry, Force is good because of Chalice is what I'm trying to say. So that would be like a wish list card. I don't think we bring it in. We have to cut some cards anyway. I think Tamiyo comes out. She's vulnerable to Chalice. I mean, she helped us there for sure. But, oh, no, Spell Pierce comes out. Spell Pierce is terrible here. Yeah, maybe we bring Tamiyo back in some number. And I am going to bring the Force Negation in. I think Force is better than Tamiyo is. And then we'll bring in... I'll bring in another Tamiyo just to increase the blue count. Blue count is really good anyway. Harbinger. Maybe Harbinger is the card because they don't have a use for blue. They are going to get a basic off of the thing, but it shuts off the caverns. It shuts off soul lands. It pitches to force 2. I think Tamiyo's not great here, is my read. Consign actually stops the initiative trigger. Maybe Consign is better than Harbinger. I'm going to bring in 1 Consign and just see how it does if it comes up. I think I'm going to take out the Tamiyos completely. I just don't think she's great here. I'll bring in 3 Consign and we'll test those. Because I would not be surprised. Actually, we can take a look at their list here that they've been playing. And I wouldn't be surprised if it has One Ring in it. They're generating so much mana. And the One Ring is, it feels like a, oh no, they're not playing it? Yeah, maybe we don't bring it in then. They didn't reveal this. Let's take a look at more. Yeah, they're just not a One Ring gamer. Which is fine. Okay, so if we're going to take these consigns out, and I think we should, if they're not on One Ring, then we will bring in a Harbinger, and maybe I'll bring a couple Tamiyos in. Yeah, I genuinely think Spell Pierce is not that great. Like if you look at their deck, they've got Minsk and Boo, and they've got Once Upon a Time and Fable. That's it in terms of non-creature spells that we can counter. On the draw, this is a force hand. Same as last game where we have a basic. I'm going to keep this. This doesn't have to be a basic. This can be a Surveil. They're mulling to 5. If that 5 includes a Cavern of Souls and a few of their Spirit Guides, they play 8. That's troubling. Okay, this is fine. This is the slow start that we wanted. Hydroblast feels insane. So we're going to hope that they use a red spell here that we can counter and we can save our force for something else. Once is fine. I'm not going to ever interact with that. I think it might be correct to like pierce it in some very narrow specific situations. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to fetch a non-basic here, but I am going to hydro here. Let's get the Underground Sea here. We may get lucky and be able to deploy. I'll just counter it since we can. You can always blast it once it's out. All right, this is going to be a Brainstorm for a second land. We do need to keep forward momentum. We find lots of land. We even find basics. So I'll put back the Maze. I don't think Bowmasters is exceptional in this matchup. And it's not blue. We've got double force now. We could just Island Tamiyo. I think it's fine because that generates value. And now we have lots of interactive stuff we can do. And I just wanted to start drawing cards and pulling ahead because they're really low on cards. Cavern, that sucks for us. We do have Strix if they initiative. Yep, we can't stop that. So I think what we're probably going to do is, unfortunately, we can't, with our current mana, we can't both Strix and Brainstorm. Wasteland is this good. They just got a land. They got a basic mountain. I don't think Wasteland is good here. I think we attack, we create a clue, we Brainstorm, and then there's a risk that we don't find something that can cast Strix out. But we do have Tamiyo plus, and that will distract them for a turn. I think that's fine. They're down to 3 cards. One of them is a land. Yeah, because if we do find a fetch, then we've got Baleful Strix. It's so worth it if we can do that. And we can put back the Wasteland that's probably not going to be a part of this game. We found a Swamp, which is actually even better than a fetch. So I'm going to put this back. And I guess we'll just put this back too. We'll draw it next turn. Actually, we'll draw it this turn because we're going to Strix. But we do have double force up. And we do have a way to take the initiative. So we just need to protect this. Yeah, and if they want to forge and attack Tamiyo, they can do that. It will actually be a lethal strike on Tamiyo, but then we'll take the initiative and we'll just never get back. Okay, they're doing Lost well. Interesting. That augurs well for us, by the way. They have to find specifically another Undermountain adventure because we're going to force any other initiative type creature they put on the stack. We're going to force Fury. We're going to force a lot of things here. Certainly like Blood Moon type effects are going to get forced, even though we have... Actually, we don't have to force Blood Moon anymore. Wow, we've got all our basics. This is amazing. But I do value taking the initiative over Tamiyo. Broadside. Let's force that. I'm going to pitch this. All right. You can hug. Give Tamiyo a big hug. You giant. You silly giant. Yep. That's fine. It's not a big hug. It's a 2. Next turn, we drop another Strix. No thank you. All right. Wow. We don't have a basic to fetch, unfortunately. They're conceding, I think. Or is our game just not working? What is happening here? Okay, we won. All right, great. See you in round 2. All right, we're here in round 2 against probably our worst matchup yet, which is just straight like Grixis Delver, because they have lots of tools. This will be interesting. I think we need to mulligan this one lander. If they are on Delver variants, Pierce is not good against them. This is worse. Unfortunately, we're going to mull the 5. They're going to think we're a combo deck. Wow, another one lander? This is insane. Okay, we have to keep this though. We're putting back Force. I'm just going to, again, they've always played tempo historically. I'm going to put back Witherbloom is a way that we can kind of pull ahead. The rest of these are kind of samey. Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. Witherbloom is going to be really important if they are on Delver. They have 7 cards on the play, not expecting to win this game. Yeah, 20 lands in the deck. So, they're not on Delver. Tamiyo, okay. Yeah, that's fine. We have lots of ways of dealing with her, including one in our hand. We want her to flip and do nothing of value. That's like the dream for Tamiyo. I think I'm just going to Island Ponder here. They still could have like interaction, and I wouldn't mind finding a Force. I don't like these cards that much because they're more of the same. I'm going to shuffle. We want to find a land. Okay, that's great. That's what we wanted. Now, even if they waste us, we have a path to Witherbloom, and we can get basics here if we need to. They're representing basic, which may mean they're like a Blood Moon strategy. Wasteland, okay. So yeah, glad we were disciplined and put back all the sweet value cards in favor of just finding a land. Kaito. Okay, interesting. Pedal in the Kaito deck. Can we beat Kaito? Well, I mean, like, obviously they can paralyze or stun our Baleful Strixes. I think I have to go for the swamp here. No, I'm going to go for a non-basic. I think I'm just going to go for an Underground Sea here, and then we're going to Strix, and then they're going to have to stun it for a turn, and we'll just keep playing cards that they have to stun in order to attack through. Okay, this is good. I am going to go ahead and just get the Underground Sea here and hide the fact that we have Witherbloom as a thing we can do. I don't think Witherblooming right now is correct. I think we need to just keep advancing our board. If they daze, this will be pretty punishing. They do daze. Do we want to force to push this through? I think we do. I know that might sound crazy, but I think it's correct. Because we're going to get a card off this anyway. And we need something to cause Kaito to start minusing. Otherwise, he's going to be able to keep drawing cards. Witherbloom isn't terrible here because they could waste us and we could pick up a land, and then we could also, potentially blow up this clue, but we are getting beaten down. But it's only 3 per turn right now. I think they're probably going to eat the clue. Whoa, they have double wasteland? Okay, the game's over. It's not necessarily over, but it's almost certainly over. Like, we would need to draw 2 turns in a row. We need to draw, or at least 1 turn in a row. We need to draw land, and then, okay, we're going to game on here. So if we get, like, I'm trying to think of what would be good here. This Witherbloom, obviously, like a fetch would do it, because then we can blow up this, and we can fetch. We're not going to block here. We are going to start creating clues, though. That was just an explosive Kaito. This player really believes in Kaito if they're using the Lotus Petal. They're plussing the Kaito to make Kaito stronger. Their own Tamiyo, number 2. Wait, this is the one. They're just recasting it because they need you to do it previously. All right, so I think we just Yeah, we're just going to attack and use the clue. We're at 9. We're like super weak right now. We're frail. We're gonna bite it. They do have black in their deck. I think it's correct to just crack this now. Our own Kaito. We're still away from doing that. You can't stun the opposing Kaito. Kaito cannot stun Kaito, unfortunately. That would be a cool play. Yeah, there's the swamp. They're playing basics too. Interesting. Yeah, this is over. Yeah, it was pretty over from the beginning, but the double wasteland was backbreaking, and I don't regret any decisions I made there. I don't think I punted or anything. I think we did have to force to get the Strix out. They would have drawn a bunch of cards off Kaito, just using the 0 ability. Okay, and leave a comment with the timestamp if you think that was a punt. Like, we did throw away an Ice-fang Coatl, which wouldn't have been death touchy like the Strix was. Yeah, man. That was pretty brutal. I think, based on what we saw, we're kind of pre-boarded for this matchup. I do think Thoughtseize is going to be better than Spell Pierce here. Because a lot of what we're trying to take is, like, you can't counter Kaito. Not unless he's being hardcast, which is rare. I do like the Fatal Push is just as another way of getting Bowmasters off the table. Bowmasters is a nightmare. It's definitely the strongest card against our deck. I mean, maybe we don't want to go down cards. Like, that was we got tempoed out, but maybe we don't want to actually go down on cards. I think the need to stop Bowmasters is strong enough that we do want to keep forces in. We're going to be drawing a lot of cards. We're a value deck. I'm going to trust in the value that we're going to generate and trust that force is going to be good. Because our deck doesn't cast a lot. It's really mana constrained. We don't have any way to cheat things out. We're not like playing Aether Vial, which I definitely considered Aether Vial, but like I dismissed it. Like, if you play Aether Vial, you basically just have to do nothing but creatures in order for Aether Vial to be worth it. And if you're playing Aether Vial, then that begs the question, why not just go ahead and go all the way up to... this is a turn 3 Kaito, potentially, if we find another land. I think I'm going to go get Basic Island, and I'm going to Tamiyo here. Oh, what do we want to do here? Yeah, I think that's correct. And then if they just kill our Tamiyo, it's a 1-for-1. We've got Wasteland, which is probably good offensively, even though they're fetching basics. I imagine they do play some non-basics in their deck. But I'm not going to be forcing to protect Tamiyo. Protect Tamiyo. Okay, Tamiyo's in. This is exciting, though. Kaito on Kaito gameplay. This is great. I'm going to waste the heck out of them, and I'm going to just create a clue, and I'm going to hold up Brainstorm to potentially flip. Kaito is a pitch to force, even though I don't want to do it. Kaito is a mid-game card, and oh wow, Lotus Petal right out. All right, they are card disadvantaging themselves for explosiveness, and yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to waste first. They may put like a Fatal Push on the stack, and then they would have a Daze Outlet. Okay, they didn't do it. Good. I'm not going to flip Tamiyo. I'm going to trust in the clues and playing a long game. We've gotten some momentum by doing what we did. They may not actually have a good way to deal with her. Maybe I should have brainstormed. But I just want to, I'm greedy. What can I say? Like, they have Bowmasters up now. It's probably off the table. Our own Bowmasters. This is great. I think I'm just going to play this out, and we're going to attack. They can't both kill her and Bowmaster our Brainstorm. Next turn, they will be able to, though. Okay, they're fetching. Probably surveilling, which is another non-basic that we can hit. Oh, they're islanding. Yeah, this is fine. The in-step Brainstorm without a way to fetch. They may have Lorien Revealed in hand. It's just that, Lorien Revealed and Lotus Petal being in the same deck, I just can't roll with that. Because you're card disadvantaging yourself so hard. Lotus Petal is a huge commitment in my mind. Okay, yeah, and they're cantripping some more. I'm not going to Bowmaster this. Bowmaster is for their Bowmaster. Next turn, we have Kaito up. I do think it's worth fetching to get Kaito up, even into a non-basic Underground Sea. But let's see what we draw here. Oh, well, we can't have Kaito up and crack a clue. This can't get a basic. Unfortunately, our basic force is in hand. I'm just going to chill and hold the clues. Hedge Maze. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this. I'm going to attack. And we are going to attempt to Kaito here. They might have Stifle. That would be impressive. Who's the Kaito deck now? Yeah. If they Stifle this, I'll be impressed, but I'm not going to react. Okay, now we're looking for land. I will force a Bowmasters if they try to Bowmasters here. These are not what we're looking for. It's crazy to put these in our graveyard, but we have plenty of card draw. We're looking specifically for land. Thoughtseize is pretty good if they don't waste us, but they probably are going to waste us here. I have to force this. It's just too good against us. Brainstorm's not going to be good if... Okay, let's think about this. Let's think about this. We just have Bowmasters for their Bowmasters. If they daze us, it takes a lot of momentum. I think we daze. I think we force here and risk the daze. They're forcing back. Okay, vindicated. So they're going to not be able to ping. They're going to be able to attack Kaito for 3, though. Or for 2. That was like, card neutral. It's technically card positive because they had to use up their pedal to do that. They're brainstorming. I'm not sure what they can find here, but they do have a land drop to give so that if they find a second Bowmasters, they can kill Kaito this turn. And there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. They will have had an exceptional draw if they had that. Yep, they do have it. Wow, such a freaking beating. My goodness. That is just exactly what they needed. They burned through so many cantrips, though. They've cast 4 cantrips this game. Yeah, and Kaito's dead. It's incredible. Incredible sequence. All right, and I'm glad we forced. That would have definitely been bad if we hadn't forced there. Okay, so we're not going to be able to take them off both. I think I'm going to start by... I can't both Thoughtseize and... I just have to kill one of them for sure. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. We might get lucky and maybe they use yet another cantrip. But if they untap, they might be able to get to force. I'm going to see what my next card is. We're definitely doing that either way. Ice-fang Quaddle, not good against Bowmasters. Like, half our deck is not good against Bowmasters. And you might be saying, like, of course your deck just collapses to Bowmasters. We're playing 4 Bowmasters. We're like every possible precaution that we can do to stop Bowmasters, we're doing it. I am going to go ahead and do this. All right, we're going to kill one of these. We're going to take some hits. But I don't think like waiting to hopefully blow them out when they like brainstorm is the correct strategy here. It just increases the number of things that they can have. So I think they're almost certainly going to have Bowmaster supremacy here. A stiff breeze will kill our Bowmasters, and then we're at the whim of theirs. But we will have Thoughtseize next turn. I think it would have been a huge mistake to Thoughtseize and let them have like free reign and attack again. Okay, so this signifies that they probably don't have Bowmasters, or they would have done it before they attacked so they could clear the path. So we're just going to take 2 here. Do they have Kaito? They're waiting like they have Kaito. I think they have Kaito. We're just getting blown the hell out. This is like crazy, crazy bad luck. Maybe their deck is just way better than mine. I don't know, but it feels like, they did. The good news is they didn't bring back their Bowmaster, which they should have, frankly, because if they did, then they would be able to ping my Bowmaster. But maybe they have that covered. Okay, they're just plussing, so they can't use the ability, which is good. All right, Bayou. I think I'm just going to start by Thoughtseizing them. I don't know what's in their hand, but we will know soon. Okay, Fatal Push is the obvious take here. I don't care if they Thoughtseize me. I'm going to go ahead and play out my Tamiyo, and I'm just going to attack Kaito for 1 because they're not going to block. Actually, if they block our Bowmaster, that's good for us because then we have Brainstorm on. I'm going to attack both at Kaito to see if I can force their hand. They're not blocking. So we've lowered his loyalty to 3. That's good. We're still probably completely and utterly dead here. No way I can cast Brainstorm. Did I forget to play my Bayou? Thoughtseize is fine. I can block Orcish Bowmasters as they attack, and I will, just to save damage. We're taking 4 here. 5 here. Wasting our green source is fine. I'm not going to crack a clue. I can't lose my Bowmaster. It's the only thing keeping us from death. Fatal Push. Let's do this. Oh my goodness. Well, we're obviously attacking Kaito. Yeah, I'm going to attack Kaito with both of these. I think I need to hold Tamiyo back to block, sadly. I'll just attack like this. They can plus. We have a turn without them being able to do anything. I'm trying to think of what we could draw that would be good here. I do think it happens now. Wasteland doesn't do anything. That's why I played the land out first. Okay, Witherbloom command is something. We can gain some life. We can potentially kill a Bowmasters if that's what they have. Okay, they're giving the emblem. So we definitely have to block this in my humble opinion. I'm not going to go to 1. What a crazy game. Let's see if we can survive. Good news is they don't seem to have drawn a Bowmasters. Ice-fang. Could draw a Bowmasters. I'm going to try to live in that world. Ice-fang into potential Bowmasters. If they have a Bowmasters, we've already lost anyway. Okay, they're not that lucky. All right, Tamiyo is another chump blocker. I mean, this is technically a chump blocker. Wait, we're so close to getting this Death Touchy. Wait, we can get a Death Touchy right now. We can just fetch. So let's do black, green. Their last card could absolutely be a... I think at this point we do have to just gain the life here. They are dazing. That's unfortunate. Yeah, and now we can't really hang back with this as Death Touch. We just have to attack. Yeah, it's unfortunate that happened, for sure. But I think I stand by that decision because if we got that Death Touchy, we could get Kaito off the table now. Instead, we're just going to have to chump for a turn. And if they push it, that's unfortunate too. They are planning to stun, maybe. I'm not sure what they're planning to do here. But we have to block. It's a force block, basically. You'd never go to 1 against a Bowmaster deck. If they use the 0 ability, we can just kill it with Bowmasters. Okay, they're on Tamiyo. That's fine. This can... Okay, they're plussing, so this can protect her for a turn. I'm just going to draw aggressively into removal. And so we just have to kill Kaito. Let's think about this. We Tamiyo. We ultimate. It doesn't work. I don't... like, Tamiyo isn't going to save us here. We just need a removal spell or a Bowmaster. Either one will do. Let's see if we can find it. I mean, technically, if we crack these, we dig deeper, but that does turn on Daze as a potential last card. I think I'm going to do that just in case. And I acknowledge that that's a risk. Witherbloom doesn't do enough. We have to brainstorm and we have to find like a Fatal Push or a Murderous Cut. Okay, we found some fetches. These aren't terrible. So if I get the swamp, I can gain life. And I can drain them and I can get a land back. I don't think that's good. I think we're probably better off playing a Tamiyo and just chumping again. That seems incredibly passive. But just knocking loyalty off of him. And every time he's just plussing the ninjas. And all he needs is a single removal spell and we're dead. So I do think that... Okay, so if he pluses and Kaito's attacking for 8, gaining life doesn't change anything here. The other option is we just don't attack Kaito. Or we attack with just 1 and they block. No, I think we need to keep the pressure on Kaito. I think we need to fade a removal spell for a turn. Actually, if we just hang back with Tamiyo, next turn we may be able to flip her. I think that might be fine. Yeah, I'm going to live in that world. So I'm just not going to attack at all because I need to make sure that they can't remove and give Kaito a path through. The next turn, I think it's a decent chance. I mean, we just shuffled, so it's a decent chance we can flip Tamiyo. And then we can regrow like a Fatal Push. Actually, did we have a path? No, we didn't have a path because it was a multi-turn line. Okay, this is a good card for them to draw. This gives them some more mana. They put a Daze in their graveyard. All right, we're going to just block with the Orc Army here, which is pretty forced. Best thing we could draw at this point would be our own Kaito. They are doing the Surveil trick, so we are going to get our army back. They don't get to draw because they didn't do any damage to us. Oh yeah, that's safe. That's safe for them to do because of yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm like a little slow on the uptake. Okay, another Tamiyo, not what we want to see. I can just attack and then use double clue to flip her. And then I can just play another Tamiyo. I think that's fine. They are, of course, going to block. If they have Bowmasters and they're just slow rolling it, they are a master of the troll. Let's go ahead and crack a clue here. Fatal Push. So sad, but Fatal Push won't do it anymore. I'm just going to flip her. Ice-fang Coatl is exceptional. Plus, we'll play a Tamiyo as a chump, and we're going to pass. We are very barely alive here. Okay, Kaito is just getting another thing that's crazy. He's like attacking for 9. And Tamiyo's attacking. So the scary thing is they can just Kaito the unblocked one here. And there's nothing I can do about it. So if they have another Kaito, we're just dead. But I'm acknowledging that, but we do have to chump here. I'm not going to chump with the Bowmaster. If we chump with the Bowmaster, we're just completely screwed. Like, that just unlocks so much that they can do. But why else would they plus here? It doesn't matter. We're dead either way. I'm not going to throw away the Bowmaster. They probably play 2 Kaito at most. They are attacking me. Yeah, I think we just have to hope that they don't have a Kaito here. They do. They have... Oh, Yuriko. Okay. Yuriko is also lethal. I didn't think about that. All right. We lost the ninjas. Yeah, attacking for 6. Yeah, and it's not affected by Tamiyo, so we lose. Wow. That was an epic game. That was an epic game to start, and it didn't occur to me that they would actually be playing Yuriko, but that makes sense why they were creating all these ninjas. Had we blocked there, we would have lost our Bowmaster. No, yeah, we would have lost our Bowmaster because we would have had to block Kaito. They wouldn't have been able to ninjutsu in Yuriko, but we wouldn't really be in a better situation. Like we could mine it, but we're still dealing with this giant Kaito coming across. So I don't really regret doing it. Yuriko was not on my bingo card of cards to expect there. So they're like turbo ninjas, basically. See you in round 3. Round 3, we're up against a likely Death and Taxes player. How do I feel about keeping a hand that goes Island Ponder and doesn't necessarily cast Witherbloom command? Murderous Cut is a good card against them. Brainstorm can easily get locked out. I like Witherbloom a lot if we find a second land, because then we can blow up Vial and potentially kill one of their creatures. This is one of the stronger cards in our matchup. I think I'm going to keep this. We're on the draw. We do have the ability to fetch a basic if we need to. I think they may be on the blue-black version if they're playing fetches. Or maybe even, the white-red version maybe. I'm just going to Island Ponder. Our deck has 20 lands in it. There's a land. I'm just going to take the land and the Bowmaster. I don't care about the force. We'll keep the Bowmaster on top in case they do have Thoughtseize, because it is one of the more powerful cards in the matchup. It can ping an opponent's creature and create some bodies they can block later. We do actually have... They don't necessarily have inevitability against us because we do have a lot of value creatures. I think we're going to go for green first. They've been a Solitude. That's a Plains. Overlord. I mean, this is actually, if there's ever a force, it's probably this. This immediately generates value. It pairs with Tamiyo. Gets their Solitude back. I think I'm going to force it just as a tempo play. I think Tamiyo's pretty terrible against their deck. They probably have Caracas. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, now we draw Bowmasters. And if you're unfamiliar with that card, it's really good. It is a really good card, Overlord of the Belmerk. It really only works in Yorion strategies, but it just gives incredible inevitability. It's a 5/5 that like basically draws a card every turn just by returning a card from your graveyard. Really good card advantage card. And you get it out for 2 mana and then you flip it and it just goes to town. They're just putting Yorion in their hand. Deal. I think this is where we Ice-fang for momentum. We know the top card is a force, which we don't really want. Let's grab our force here. And we're looking for a path to a swamp. Fatal Push is a good rip. We can brainstorm for... oh, there we go. So options. One, we can brainstorm and then we can just shuffle away the cards we don't want if we find them. I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start by brainstorming. The weakest card in our hand is probably a Fatal Push because it's 1 for 1. Oh, we don't want these lands. Check this out. I'm going to put these back. Now, I'm going to go grab our basic swamp. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'll just get the swamp. I mean, if we Witherbloom later, it's a 2 for 1. Yeah, I'm just going to attack, and I'll pass. We have Instep Bowmasters if they try to do anything. I mean, at the very least, we can put that out as an attacker, even if we can't trade. But I do want to get some value for Witherbloom. And just Witherblooming to return a land and deal drain 2 life doesn't feel good. Skyclave. That's fine. Let's see, if left the battlefield. Yeah, we can just push this. We can keep our yeah, we'll just get the we'll get a 2-drop from it. No reason to play out our Bowmasters, which might be good later. Let's check. Yeah. Now we get a 2/2 token, so they actually accelerated their demise in a very slight manner. At least as far as this deck is concerned, this deck is not a fast deck by any means. Tamiyo, not wild about her. I guess we could ponder and see how many of these cards we want to keep, and then we might be able to Witherbloom. I do want another Ice-fang. I don't really... I mean, Brainstorm is the combo, but yeah, I think what we do is we take the Ice-fang now, and then I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 2, and then I am going to go ahead and Witherbloom because I want a land drop. It drains for 2. It's not nothing. We'll get back a Delta, I guess. We can play it out. I mean, we can Tamiyo now. I think that's fine. We have lots of land out. If they're wasting us, that's fine with me. I will get a second blue source, or a second black source. If they just Caracas, that's fine. It's not a big deal. We do have Wasteland for their Crocus, which is important because they can get Yorion loops going and win that way. This Overlord would be insane right now. It would be like done, impending, and it would be on the table. White Orchid Phantom. They can only hit our non-basic, but we don't have any more basics in the deck, so this is a reason to not necessarily fetch basics, by the way. We don't know the top cards of our deck, so it doesn't make sense to shuffle here. Recruiter. Okay, this is something I can poke next turn. I do need to be mindful of time in this matchup. Our deck is super duper slow. We can't both cut and Bowmasters next turn. We do need to get this off the table before the Yorion. They won't be able to blow up any of our lands with White Orchid Phantom. Okay, Stoneforge, that's scary. We don't have a single answer to a... I can just push this and attack in. And then we have Ice-fang Coatl, but we won't have cut. It's possible that we find a land. I am really worried about them Yorioning this, but I think next turn they're going to wait a turn. We're doing a little more damage to them. We're creating a clue. We're going to go ahead and Ice-fang now. See if we draw a land. If we draw a land, we have Murderous Cut. Wasteland's great. Waste them off of one of the backstreet. I don't think they can blink it, but they can technically blink it if they have Flicker Wisp in their deck. You can like just hit that and get a free surveil off Flicker Wisp, when otherwise Flicker Wisp would be dead. Thoughtseize. We have 2 redundant effects. They'll probably take the Bowmaster. They're going to go get Formware. If they get Calder, they're crazy because I can just clear it. Yeah, there's the Formware. Formware is very good against us. Another Tamiyo, not what we want to see here. I think I'm just going to attack with everything. They can double block if they want. I'm going to go ahead and draw with this because we still have cut up. Kaito is great. We'll definitely do that next turn, and that might be lethal, even if they Formware. I think I do want to hit this just because they're going to go and they're going to get Calder, but it'll be too late because Kaito is going to kill them first. Let's get rid of some stuff that they can potentially reanimate. I don't think they have reanimation effects. Okay, we'll just get rid of. Yeah, we don't have any reanimate effects in our deck, so like cards in our graveyard are really just a liability with this deck. Karakas is good. Yeah, I'm actually happy they did that because that slows them down a little bit. They're going to go ahead and pre-war. What are they going to get back? It can only be a 3-drop. Probably a White Orchid. They can get back Stoneforge, and then they can go get Caldra. If they get White Orchid, that would be very heads up because... Oh, they could get Skyclave, and they could hit our Ice-fang. That would actually be devastating because then we wouldn't be... Okay, good. They're getting Stoneforge. They've got 3 cards in their hand. One of them is Yorion. I don't know what else they could have. We Kaito, we stun. They can't play Phantom Blade. Let's read Phantom Blade. Come on, show me Phantom Blade. Destroy up to 1 target creature. Okay, so it's not going to destroy Kaito. So we're still going to be able to hit them. Okay, they're attacking. If we can remove this, that's amazing. If we can find like a Fatal Push. Okay, Delta's good. Wasteland would be great if we can find Karakas. Karakas can never hit Kaito. I'm just going to go ahead and attack with just the Ice-fang here. Then we're going to Kaito. We're going to stun this. So they have to pay for Phantom Blade. I'm trying to be decisive. They take 3. I think we stun. I'm going to play this out, and I'm going to play a Tamiyo. I know they can bounce it, but it's just efficient use of mana. I'm not sure how they kill her, how they kill Kaito. Let's see, does this give... it gives it +1/+1. They can do that. They can kill... well, if they do that, I'm just going to block with Tamiyo. But they could bounce Tamiyo, but they don't have enough mana to both deploy Phantom Blade, which costs 5, and to bounce Tamiyo. So I can block with an illusion token, and then I can still swing in. We'll see what they do here. They can kill the creature, then they can bounce this, then they can attack in. That's the line. Yeah, and then we lose. Wow. I didn't think we could lose. They have to see it, but they should see it. Does it pre-equips itself? I should have read the card. Oh, they're Yorioning. Yeah, this is also something they can do that is devastating to us. This is a blocker. We can't stun it and attack, unfortunately. We do have to find a way to remove it. So they're getting their cards back. They get pre-war back too. Wow, this is devastating. Absolutely devastating. Yeah, I thought we had the win in the bag, but we don't. Yeah, they're getting so much value. They can get Caldra. They can go get... I bet you they get Caldra here. They probably go get just like a Flicker Wisp, maybe. I don't think we played wrong in doing what we did with stunning the Stoneforge. That did limit their options. It's just like we did have perfect information as to what was possible. Not perfect, but we had pretty good information. So they can get that. We lose a land. I don't think we have the ability to win anymore. This is not something we can blow up with. I was thinking, if we have Witherbloom, that might do it, but I don't think that'll be enough. Okay, so if we drew Witherbloom and then we drew Bowmaster, we could still win, but that supposes they don't have like Solitude to Solitude their own creature or something like that. So at this point, okay, and they grabbed a Flicker Wisp, which is potentially devastating too. Spell Pierce is not good against their deck at all. We don't have any good attacks. A clue into something to hit this, and then at least we have a decent attack. No, we don't actually have a decent attack. They're Crocusing this back now. That's fine. We draw. Ice-fang, yeah, good game. I don't think like repeated Ice-fang is going to get us there either. We could have just Ice-fang and then next turn Ice-fang, but our Kaito would be long dead, and that's really the hope. So yeah, wow, we got dismantled. Let's see how we can do in the next game. Sideboard, we're definitely bringing in the Thoughtseizes here, and we're taking out the Spell Pierces. They're just not very good against their deck. They only have a few non-creature spells. Consign is not atrocious, but it's not great. Yeah, I think those are the only substitutions. Consign is good. Notably, it stops ETB triggers, but you're already down a card if you're doing that. The dream is that you consign a Yorion trigger, but I refuse to believe that that's our best course of action. So I'll say the thing that I say in every single video when we face Death and Taxes. Fair non-blue decks almost always beat fair blue decks. The reason is we are dedicating a lot of our cards to cards that stop combo decks. And, like Death and Taxes, Maverick, like those cards basically just accept, like, okay, we're going to lose to Necrodominance. We're going to lose to Oops All Spells. We're probably going to lose to the Epic Storm. That's okay. We're just going to take that. And that's why you rarely see those decks at the top tables at major tournaments, because there are a lot of combo decks out there. But these decks are good, and I'd love to play them more. I used to play Death and Taxes all the time. I just got sick of losing to combo. Okay, and you might meet some Death and Taxes players who tell you, they'll swear up and down, no, you don't understand. My sideboard is very good against combo. I'm sorry, but like I don't consider cards like Mindbreak Trap to be like good cards in Legacy. Okay, so we have a Force Hand. We have a Thoughtseize. I think what we do here is we open Surveil Land, and then we try to find a path to Thoughtseize. We don't need a Thoughtseize immediately. I don't want to put this back. Every card is going to matter here. Baleful Strix is pretty good against them. Yeah, and the reason we're doing this is we can't actually fetch a basic, so we're just not going to fetch basics. It is very tempting to open Thoughtseize, but that is really something you do against a combo deck. You don't need to do that against a fair deck. Like they had like 7 cards in their hand at the end of the game last time. It was like 6 or 5, but my point is not good enough. Brainstorm going in our graveyard. You got to believe that we're going to draw a land. Okay, Force, not a great card. I would love to put it back and shuffle it away. Wow. Yeah, I think we're dead. A single Wasteland and we're dead. If they have the other guy, it's not necessarily death. I'm going to waste them here. So I'm going to put back black cards. We're not going to be casting them. And we may be pitching blue cards. And they may not interpret this as weakness, but they should. Because you don't ever brainstorm without the goal of shuffling. If they just wasteland us here, it's so backbreaking. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, and this is what I feared. But I figured between the Hedge Maze and the Brainstorm, we would have enough looks. But I am glad I threw away that Brainstorm because we don't want to draw through that. I'm going to play this out and I'm going to pass. But we're not going to waste our lands at this point. We can't really afford to. They play probably like 27 lands. I'm going to show them. I'm going to destroy my own wasteland. Thank you. And it's like the client's even like, are you sure you want to target your own wasteland? Yep. All right. We're not drawing a land here. We can still come back, but it's unlikely. We do have a pretty juicy hand, but like these forces are 2-for-1s. I'll definitely pitch Tamiyo first. She is terrible against their deck. Okay, they do have bad lands if they're playing that out. Land, please. All right. We're not completely dead. I'm going to Thoughtseize them. And we're going to see 2 more Wastelands in their hand. Oh, they don't have one. They do have White Orchid Phantom. White Orchid Phantom's not a big deal. We're actually fine with them causing us to have to go to a basic island. Recruiter does add up. Skyclave is not a big deal. All our cards are 2-for-1s. I think I am going to take White Orchid Phantom. Maybe that'll inspire them to aggressively White Orchid Phantom me, but it's not a big deal. Like once I have an island out, we have Cantrips back on. So their hand is Karakas, which means that I'm most definitely going to be pitching this Tamiyo. Oh, they drew a Plains for turn. Yeah, let's go get an island. I mean, it's not great in the sense that it does force us to... it reduces the number of lands in our deck. It could be the black was the choice here, because then we could be fatal pushing stuff. I'm going to play this out, and they're just going to Karakas bounce it, but... it kind of like Rishon ports them for a turn. Okay, they got 3 Recruiter of the Guard and a Skyclave. We're taking 2. I'm going to keep fighting. All right. That is good. I'm going to put the Strix out. So draw us a card deeper. All right, another Strix. Looks good. They hit this. We're just going to go grab another swamp. Wait, they don't have another one. We took one of them. Okay, good. That's not a wasteland. Recruiter. I'm going to force this. It sucks, but like it's tempo, essentially. That Tamiyo is never going to be good. Like, even if we brainstorm it, they're going to have lots of things to attack. All right, we're going to keep Strixing until we draw land. Kaito is great. I'm going to go ahead and Strix now. Okay, Thoughtseize, not terrible. I might actually pitch Kaito to force if they do another recruiter, just because they're getting so close to like a Yorion Armageddon. Gosh, this feels really bad. I mean, Kaito is one of the few cards that can turn around for us. I don't have faith that we're going to do that, though. I think this represents like two or more triggers, especially when they have Crocus. They get the loop going, and you just get so far ahead so quickly, or so far behind so quickly. This has first strike. We're at 9 now. They have Yorion mana. Bowmasters would be backbreaking. This is not the worst. It is pretty bad. They can actually get back White Orchid Phantom and hit us again. Ghost Quarter us again. They may take Felia. That's what I would take here, because that unlocks Overlord and lots of nasty stuff. We're not winning this game. I'm like 90% certain. I think we have like less than a 10% chance of winning. Force is not a good draw. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we don't really have any good... they haven't even put the Yorion in hand. I'm just going to attack... Felia will come out, but she won't immediately be... Yeah, I think it is correct to go ahead and Thoughtseize, even though we're low on life, just to get Felia out of their hand. Oh, they didn't get Felia back. They got White Orchid, but White Orchid's pretty bad too. I think we have to go with the recruiter. It does too much. White Orchid is a 2-for-1 kind of. It's going to blow up our land, and we're going to have to go get a swamp. I'm going to ignore Skyclave. We're going to need to have a force for when they cast Yorion. Let's go get our swamp. Now our colors are a little more restricted, but we're not... I mean, Wasteland doesn't really matter as much. We are bleeding out pretty fast. I'm going to start having to do Fiddle Push things. I want to use my life total as a resource. They don't have like Reach where they just kill you out of nowhere. They're putting Yorion in the hand, so now we have to force. We have 4 turns until Overlord. But Yorion will flip Overlord immediately. Okay. So, we don't have a force. We don't have a force, and I think we've lost. Because what they can do is they can just get Overlord next turn. We don't have a path to drawing any cards either. I'm just going to concede. So what will happen is, even if we start killing these and like turtle up, this is going to just overwhelm us with card advantage. And Yorion, they have the Yorion loop with Caracas, and we don't have a Wasteland. Yeah, that was a firm beating. A firm reprimand. All right. So I think game 2 was really close, or match 2 was really close against the mirror, and I think we could have crawled out of that. I think we could absolutely outvalue their deck because they're playing cards like Lotus Petal and Daze, and we're playing cards like Thoughtseize and Spell Pierce and stuff like that. So I think we may have boarded the Pierces out. I'm just kind of rambling, but I'm thinking out loud. Yeah, I think that we didn't really have a good path to victory. The fact that we didn't know what was in their deck was a huge advantage for them. Granted, they didn't know what was in our deck either. So that is kind of a wash. But like, I did not expect Kaito at all. I didn't expect Yuriko at all. Because a lot of people were like surprised that I was playing her. Like, is she good enough? But she was good there. And when I say playing her, I was playing her in the Ninjas list that I would with earlier this week. If you check the videos. Round 4, we're up against the trophy leader Delthar, who always plays combo decks. This is not a combo friendly hand. We're on the draw too. Mulligan. Last time they were on Belcher. This is a mulligan. You never trust that force with no lands is going to get you there. It doesn't, in my experience. I mean, if they're not oops, this does play. We can put back a couple lands and we have at least somewhat of a game plan. I'm not going to mull in any deeper. This goes back. This goes back. We'll keep our fetches up. This way we have Surveil. We can assemble. Okay, Yavimaya. Exploration. Wow, they're just playing whatever they want now that they're like 17 trophies in the past like 2 months. Okay. This is probably mulch if they're playing. Well, we'll see. I think we just island here and then we Tamiyo. We're not going to be able to protect her, but I don't think I'd be surprised if they have spot removal on their deck. Delthar is going to say same. I'm pretty sure that's what he says when you say good luck, have fun. Same. Yeah, there we go. All right, so Tamiyo flip is good if they're a creatureless build. We can also shuffle away Bowmasters, which is probably not going to be good against lands, especially not if they're playing like Cradle. Not Cradle, Tabernacle is what I'm thinking. Do they have Plow? Crop Rot? Yeah, this is happening. They're filling up their graveyard with lands, which makes me think they probably have like a Life from the Loam. Okay, Urza Saga. We can deal with that. And they did find Loam. Okay, so they may just be playing straight up lands. That's what it looks like. Double land here. That's pretty good. Sphere. Oh no. I don't think we can beat Sphere. So we can flip Tamiyo and we can start going plus with her. I think that's probably actually the game plan here. Ooh, Witherbloom. This is a good path to victory. We are going to need to find another land to do it. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Like, all our cards are fine. We just need to... Okay, so I'm going to go to the swamp, and I am going to flip her. And we're going to try to draw, and then next turn, we can potentially Witherbloom and regrow a land. That would be great. Oh, actually, we don't need to. They have Yavimaya, so if we just find any land, we can Witherbloom. And then we can start using Strixen once we get ahead on cards, or once we get some lands going, I guess. Oh, I should have attacked there. That was dumb. Yeah, Force doesn't matter. I'm just going to put the Witherbloom back since I can't access it. I mean, they could Ghost Quarter us. I'm going to put back Bowmaster. It's never good. I will put back... Yeah, we're not going to be forcing anything. It doesn't matter. I'll just put it back. Okay. So she flips, and again, dumb of me to not create a clue there. That was just a punt. Next turn, we do have Witherbloom for Sphere. We can't get both Sphere and Exploration. Yeah, they're getting the lands back. It's just a matter of time before they find a combo, like a Thespian stage. Okay, Wasteland. I laugh in the face of Wasteland. Now I definitely think we need to hit Resistance because it's just going to trap us. And also that does reduce the power of their Urza Saga. Yeah, I stand by Sphere as the pick. So we need to get our Forest. So I'm going to get this Misty Rainforest. I'll plus... They want to Wasteland us here. They can... We might be able to Tamiyo Armageddon, but it's going to be slow. Oh, wait, we do have Force up now. That's good. Okay, they're going to create their construct. They could go get Lava Spur, and then they could potentially kill her. Let's see. Not necessarily kill her, but they could do a lot of damage to her. Okay. And the reason getting Force is so important here is they can just machine gun our lands. With Wasteland and Life from the Loam. It's worth noting that there's nothing in our deck that can handle Merit Lage token if they find that. So they could just go get the Expedition map. They don't know that, though. I think they're probably going to get Lava Spur if it's in their deck. Pithing Needle. Okay, they're just going to Needle Tamiyo, which means that we have to find that other Witherbloom. Okay, they're wasting that. Loaming. They're going to replay their... Okay. I think their hand's almost completely land. They also, it's worth noting they did mill the Expedition map. Ghost Vacuum. This might be worth a Force. Let's think about this, because they could get our Bowmaster back. They get our Strix back. They have plenty of mana. I think this actually is a Force. Crazy. Crazy that I'm forcing this, but I do think it's correct. It's just like... They have 6 mana as soon as next turn. Even though we're not using our graveyard for anything, our graveyard is a pure liability in this matchup. Okay. So they're going to come in probably. We can't plus her anymore, so she's super vulnerable. Yeah, she'll take 2 loyalty. The absolute best card would be the Witherbloom. We only have one more. Okay, we didn't get there. Play this out. I am going to go ahead and Strix here. We can still tap this for green if we need to. Not hopeful that we're going to win here. Spell Pierce, extremely unlikely to matter. We're just going to... Yeah, they've got Urza Saga again. I think I'm just going to scoop. I don't think there's any real point in showing them more on my deck. The issue is they're just going to be able to create constructs, indefinitely. It's very hard to beat a Life from the Loam hand. Basically you have to hope that they don't find Loam. Cage does not stop Loam. Harbinger's coming in. Force Negation is absolutely coming in. It's really strong here. I think Spell Pierce comes out. Fatal Push, all those come out. And if we're taking out Fatal Push, maybe we are bringing in Thoughtseize. We're on the play. I think on the play, Thoughtseize makes sense. Murderous Cut doesn't really do a lot. I think the idea of cutting a construct is not where we want to be. They may not know what we're playing because why would we force a Ghost Vacuum? But we had to. We really did. Okay, so I think if they're on a stock lands build, I don't think Consign makes any sense. I think Spell Pierce probably actually is better. Consign does stop, you can stop the construct's ability to trigger. You can force, or you can consign, I don't think they play the One Ring. I think this is fine. This is a good configuration. We got plenty of land. Our goal is just, Bowmasters is terrible against them. Maybe we take out some Bowmasters and we bring in Consign. It's pretty bad. It does pitch to force, and Bowmasters does not. That's one argument I'll make. These Ice-fang Collaterals and Baleful Strix are really good, though, because they get us up a card, and they present ever so tiny of a clock against our opponent. If they bring in something like Sylvan Library, that's something to worry about. I think we just Island Ponder here. Or we could Tamiyo. We Island Tamiyo. Then when we Brainstorm, we Flipper, and we hopefully find a land. We have 20 lands in our deck. I just want to emphasize that. I think this is a keep. Force of Will can stop crop rotation. That's probably the most scary thing that they could do. Or if they have a turn 1 sphere, we'll stop that. But you always have to fetch basics in this matchup, because they will grind you to dust. If they find Ghost Quarter, that's devastating. I wouldn't be normally worried about playing against lands, but Delthar is one of the best players in the world, and can play pretty much anything. This resolves. I'm not going to force a diamond. They discard Tomb. Exploration. I think this is a force. It does a lot. Do we throw away a Strix? I think we do. My reasoning is, this slows them down a lot, by the way. Okay, Port, Vacuum. I don't care about Ghost Vacuum at all. It's just, it shouldn't be in their deck, but they don't know what our deck does. Okay, another Tamiyo. So I'm going to attack first, and then I'm going to attempt a Flipper I know that it's possible that it whiffs, but we do need to Brainstorm instead of Ponder here just to Flipper and get some sort of clock going. Okay, it didn't whiff. That's great. And now we can Thoughtseize them. Do we want to Thoughtseize them? I think maybe we do Thoughtseize them. There's a decent chance their hand is just lands. I think I just leave the Misty Rainforest untapped for a while. Kaito is good, but I'll be stunned if we get high enough in lands to be able to actually use it. So I'm going to put Kaito back. I'm going to put back Redundant Tamiyo. What if they do have something catastrophic in hand? What if? I think Thoughtseizing is actually totally fine here. What if they have Loam in hand and we just help them? Nothing. Okay. So they do have a Wasteland. So yeah, Thoughtseizing I mean, in retrospect, it's embarrassing that we thought he's there. They can like lock us off lands for a long time, but we are going to probably be able to Tamiyo ultimate. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to, based on what we see here. They kept a hand without loam. Okay, so we're going to ponder. We're going to try to find another land. Oh, we're not going to be able to do anything. So everything's riding on Tamiyo now. Well, that's a good draw, because next time when they port us, we can at least do that. They have a second port online. Even if we draw half our deck, like it's still going to be tricky, because we don't really, like we can play one land per turn. If they get, no, I think we'll be able to win if we ultimate. It's rare that I lose to anything other than the clock when I ultimate, or if they just have like some insane barrage of cards on the table. So I am going to go ahead and just use my brainstorm here. Oh, Disruptor Flute. This is bad news. Very bad news. Okay, so options. One, we could do an imperfect brainstorm here to panic. I don't think that's the answer. I think we find a Witherbloom command and we clear it. The odds of us finding a force are low. 3 cards in 48. Yeah, I'm not going to panic. So Witherbloom clears this. We do need to find a lot of land to do that. I am going to go ahead and ponder here. We're looking for Path to Basics. Harbinger is the best card in our deck, but we don't have the mana for it. No land. No love. Next turn we do have Brainstorm that we can use. That's it. So this game's slipping away. We just have to hope they don't draw bombs. Okay, we knew that was in their hand. They are going to be able to like keep us pretty locked down for a while. Okay, and I'm just going to brainstorm, I guess. It doesn't matter. All right, we found a force. Is it okay? We would have actually found force, interestingly, had we looked for it. So that's embarrassing. We could have half our deck in our hand right now, but the odds were not likely. It was not good odds. See, yeah, we would have drawn the force, and we would have had the blue card to pitch. So the play that is correct is not always the play that you're gonna see. Strix was not coming out for a turn or two. I'll put Tamiyo on top. We'll draw it. We've got double force up. But what we're worried about are not spells. We're worried about Urza Saga. Okay, we'll play this out, and next turn we can crack a clue when they start to port us. If they don't have anything better to do. It's worth noting that Kaito is insane against this deck. They're going to vacuum us. It's fine. Field of the Dead. 1, 2, 3 types currently. But they do have the maze that we know about. All right, so I'm going to see if they invest mana into this. Okay, I'll just float. And if they're smart, which they are, very smart, they're going to wait until our next stage. So we are going to go ahead and crack the clue now just to get deeper into our deck. We draw Ponder for turn. That's not helpful. Let's pass. Yeah, this Disruptor Flute was clutch. Yeah, and I'm not going to ask people in the comments to tell me whether I was wrong to not brainstorm for the force. I will stand by my reasoning. This is... Oh, Free Strider Lookout. Whenever you commit a crime, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land from among them. I do think this is a force, just because it does stuff. They can crack their Ghost Vacuum to get it back next turn if they want to. But we have like nothing going on, and we just want to slow them down. Once we find our third land... Well, we're going to need to find a lot of lands. Okay. The important thing is that at least partially tap them out for this turn cycle. So there is a small possibility that they don't port our island and that we do get to cast a Ponder here. They are going to port our island for sure. Nothing we can do about that. Oh, Hedge Maze. That's good. They don't have recursion on our graveyard yet. So this is actually a land that will stick around for a turn. If I put this in the graveyard, they can vacuum it, but I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to let them have a 1/1 copy of Tamiyo. I'm not going to draw through that. So now we have 2 blue sources, and okay, they're going to take Free Strider instead. They may just crack it now and ignore our Tamiyo. They do have the ability to get Free Strider back off their vacuum. So even though like I was joking about how it doesn't do anything in our deck, it does serve that purpose. I didn't realize they had any lands in their deck. Okay, and most likely they're just going to tap our blue sources, and we're not going to play Magic. Now we're going to pass into the draw step, and they're going to do it again. This, by the way, if you haven't played lands, this is how you do porting. Okay, and I'm just going to let it happen this time. We can't do anything. Spell Pierce is not what we want to see. We're going to be dead to Field of the Dead soon. Or they're passing again. Okay. Okay. Land, please. Not a land, but Kaito will solo their deck. It's really, really freaking good. We just have to get the mana to get him out, which is not a trivial thing. Interesting they're not going after our Tamiyo. Do they not want a Tamiyo? Okay. And we're just going to let them do their thing here. We're just in the waiting room for a land. Any source of blue, and we can Strix. Okay. Strix is correct here. Yeah, because it gives us the potential to draw a card in Kaito. Oh, yes, yes. We're going to Kaito next turn. Is that true? They could tap our swamp, but we can go fetch something else. Yeah, if we Kaito, I think we can still win this. I know that sounds crazy that we could win this, but we really could. I'm not trying to hype you up just to let you down. They're going to get a whole bunch of... if they have a different type of land, they are going to get triggers from Field of the Dead. They haven't found a wasteland. All right. They are tapping that. That's fine. Draw. Okay. Trying to think about how to most efficiently use Kaito. I think it does involve... I'm gonna keep this because we will want to be able to fetch our basics, our basic plane or forest here. Yeah, I'm gonna get an Underground Sea. Now we're gonna attack. It doesn't matter that they can't block it. We are still gonna get Kaito. This is gonna get forced. Nice try, but I am taking my Kaito. I couldn't pierce there, by the way. I can't tap mana. I need Kaito. Kaito's in. And I think what we do here is we want to start looking for... we could plus him. They may crack this as an emergency and attack in. I think we probably do want to just plus him just to reduce the likelihood that he gets killed if they attack. It also will speed up their demise. Yeah, I'm going to do that. They're taking our Tamiyo now. So they will have access to a Tamiyo that they can potentially flip. And I think even though it's a copy, they do get the actual Planeswalker. I'm not actually sure if it's a copy, like it's a token. So it may not actually be able to flip. They won't have a way to flip her to my knowledge. Like drawing, like they could crack a bunch of clues and do it. Okay, so they do get a creature here. Here goes their thing. This will get Free Strider Lookout, and that will generate some value. Okay. If they get a Tamiyo and they get a Free Strider, what is it? Whenever you commit a crime, look at the top 5 cards, you can put a land. Okay, only once a turn. All right. All right. We don't have any removal, so this game is getting interesting for sure. They are committing a crime. This targets, so they can do this every turn. That's pretty scary. And we don't have a way to remove this in our entire deck, I don't think. Oh, wait. We can target it with... okay, what are they... So they're tapping this down. Yeah, that works. So they get their... This card is really strong. Our victory is not assured by any means. But I think we are favored now that we have Kaito on the table. Witherbloom command kills this and kills this. That's what we need to do. So they're going to build so many field triggers. They can target again, but they don't have mana. Okay, so now we get to draw a card. We can consign triggers. It's not good enough here. I think I'm going to start by seeing what we draw. This does tap off of black, but we have a fetch. Okay, consign. I'm going to ponder. If I can find Witherbloom command, it is totally worth it. This is a path to just having a bunch of Strix to back up Kaito. They're going to be drawing so many cards off of their creature, though. Yeah, I really feel like we need to shuffle this and try to find Witherbloom. This is do or die. If we find Witherbloom, we have a path. We do have a path. My goodness, so good. We have a black card in our deck. We have a Bayou. This is so freaking good. Black, green, cast, destroy that creature, destroy the Disruptor Flute. Let's think about what we want to do here. If we plus Kaito, he becomes a 5/6. He survives combat even if they block everything. Yeah, I think we do that. So now he's a 5/6. He will survive. We'll go and attack. Now I think we do plus, because we're about to draw a bunch of cards and they can't stop us. They can stop us if they attack all at Tamiyo. Yeah, all right. We got a ball game. 9 minutes on my clock, 15 on my opponent's. They're very experienced, obviously. Like, they're the best player on MTGO, basically, is one way to think of it. They are all attacking. This does create a clue. I think they have to all attack her. Yeah. Okay. What are they doing here? Cracking the clue. We don't have any interaction for this, by the way. So they are going to do 2 damage to her. I can just block one of these, and then I can still ultimate, because she'll only lose 1 loyalty. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I do want to ultimate here. They're mazing it. That's fine. She's still going to ultimate. Unless they found another thing. They can Ghost Quarter my land now. That's worth noting. They can Ghost Quarter their own land and get extra triggers. They can get double trigger on zombie token. Now I'm almost kind of thinking that maybe I don't have the luxury of ultimating her because they can attack for so much. Yep, that is... I'm going to go get my forest. But that does shut me off a lot of things that I can do here. That's the last land in my deck. Now they're fetching again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is terrifying. Force Negation's good. So we can plus Kaito and we can swing in. I think that's good because he'll be a 6/7. They can just block with one of them. I think we have to do this. This is making him more powerful. My opponent won't necessarily always be ripping fetch lands. I'm going to go ahead and plus here too. I'll do that after I attack. And there's no reason to give them that information. Okay, they're porting this. I'll just float blue. I can start consigning the actual triggers if I need to. Okay, we're going to do the mana loss warning. We're going to run out of time, I think. It's just too grindy of a match. And our opponent is not yielding at all. So we'll come in like this. This is a 6/7. They can chump with one of them. That's fine. I am going to plus. I'm a coward. I think we already have like what we need to win on the table. I just don't want them to be able to beat us down. I'll start consigning the triggers on field. If they find loam, we just force it. They are getting a clue here. Yeah, I think that Tamiyo is bad news. We need to take her out. At the same time, I do think it's... Yeah, they get the clue. Yeah, let's just do this. And they'll probably just maze it, or if they kill it, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. If they have like a fetch and they get double trigger, that's devastating. I'm just going to counter this the old-fashioned way. With blue mana. I don't think that there's anything you can do about that. Let's see. If we ultimate, we're going to draw a lot of answers. I'm going to consign this trigger. I am tapped out. If we get rid of that, we can attack for a lot. Okay, that happens. That happens. I think we stun this and we just hit him really hard. Now we can go to combat. Just attack with this. Hitting him for 6. One turn clock. I'm going to plus here. I don't have black. I can't play my Strix. That sucks. Yeah, we're just going to chill. One more attack and should be good unless they start holding stuff back. I can consign another trigger on field. They are going to get an extra card. If they get Loam, it sucks for us and we may not be able to win. They may just be disciplined and hold stuff back. Yeah, that's a devastating thing for them to draw. Yeah, they can fetch and they can create 2 new zombies. I don't think we can win anymore, sadly. I don't think us piercing this does anything. It's probably better than doing nothing. Yeah, but they just drew Loam 2 turns in a row. I mean, they were due for it. There are 34 cards into their deck. They're just going to pay for it. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And now I'm not sure if we'll still have the option of drawing our deck. I'm trying to think if there's anything we can draw on our deck that can end the game. We've already used our Witherbloom. We could Witherbloom twice and kill them that way. And we could just minus Witherbloom. But I don't think this is ever going to get through again. We'll see what they do here. If they fetch, that does get them in 4 range. And we can Witherbloom 2 turns in a row. Okay, they're just keeping these back. That's great, actually. I am going to block it. Just to force them to use their maze here. I don't think I've ever beaten... Well, actually, I have beaten this player a couple times when they were on Oops. But I've never beaten them when they've been on some other deck. I run into them all the time. I probably play them like once every 2 or 3 days. Wow, they just let it go? Okay. Diamond. They can find like wastelands and stuff. That's good for them. You know what? My strategy of Witherblooming them isn't going to work because we don't have enough black mana. Ghost Quarter. Oh, I shouldn't have let that trigger happen. Wasteland on our black source. So we have 1 black source left, but they have port. We could literally draw our entire deck and just not have an answer here. Because we don't have mana. It doesn't matter. Like the cards are not the issue. The mana is the issue. And they're going to be able to get so many triggers every turn with this. We could draw a Wasteland for their... No, Wasteland's not going to matter because they have Loam active. We don't have anything to deal with Loam. We have the literal force of negation that we've already used to deal with it. They have enough blockers that they can just kill. I'm going to go ahead and draw my deck. And then I'll concede if I don't... I just want to make sure I'm not missing something that we could have done. Oh... I think I've got it. Okay, we attack. No, we don't have black. We don't have black. Because I was like, oh, we could Kaito. And then that would be a ninja attacking. Oh, wait. We can just cast Harbinger. Okay, and now they can't stop me from attacking the air. They can attack for 8 next turn. Yeah, I'm going to just attack here and here. And they're going to have to lose a bunch of creatures. And they're going to go lower. You need 1 more. All right. I'll just take 3 of your creatures there. They're going to take 1. We got 4 minutes. There's no way we're going to win. But I want the victory of at least getting this. Yeah, I totally forgot. We could have gotten this a long time ago probably. And maybe we would have had time for a game 3. I don't think they have a way to kill her. They don't have... Are they going to choke? Okay. That taps all of our cards. But I'm still going to be able to attack in for 4 turns in a row. Is there anything we can cast off just green and a wasteland? Oh, wait. We do have green-blue, so we can cast a one of these flyers. Just do that. And then I'm just going to attack for 1. And we are going to successfully race them here. And we're going to clinch the Pyrrhic win. And I'll go ahead and plus her for good measure. I don't think we can lose. Like if they have, what's it called? The card that destroys an artifact. They can destroy the Strix. But yeah, we're going to win this 1 game. They did punt and they forgot to keep Tamiyo alive. I don't know that would have mattered. I think we probably still win this game. Okay. I think we do have forces in case they do have something here, but I'm just going to go Go ahead and do exactly what I did last turn. We shouldn't even be doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. It takes just a second, and it ensures that we win. They're going to 1, and now they're dead. I'm not going to F6 through the turn because I do have force up. Okay, they conceded. We won that game. I don't think I can't imagine a way that we win with 3 minutes on the clock. And I'm playing pretty fast and pretty efficiently, in my humble opinion. There's just so many game actions that have to take place. Delthar, the most, efficient player on MTGO, probably one of them is at 9 minutes too. So he's low. Okay, so I think we leave the permission out. Thoughtseize is pretty bad here. Yeah, maybe we take out Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize could punch a hole, but I just don't have faith. I think Fatal Push is better now that we know they have creatures. Yeah. Yep, we're going to hope to get a Kaito going very quickly. Again, even if I don't win, I'm not disappointed because we're playing against the best player on MTGO. And I genuinely think that I'm learning a lot from these interactions, and these are fun interactive games. I'm much happier that he's playing lands than oops. This is not a keep. It's just too slow. It does nothing. This is a keep. So I'm going to put back... I need to decide. Be decisive. Let's put back... We have the Brainstorm Tamiyo combo. I think I put back a land. I know that sounds bad, but yeah. Because we need to be able to force pitch Strix and then Tamiyo combo. Okay. Expedition map. I'm not going to force that. Maybe we get Island Tamiyo. You could say Tamiyo's too slow when you have 2 minutes on the clock, but we might be able to just quickly pass and get her to combo. Port. Okay, so I'm gonna just brainstorm when they port. Yeah, I think this has to happen. Okay. We'll put back Consign and brainstorm will redraw it. If she flips, we are going to be able to go get a second card, which will probably be a forest, so we can play the Ice-fang out. Well, we'll make them do the thing first. The path to victory is Ice-fang into Kaito. They're cracking this. That's fine. Urza Saga. Okay, I'm not worried about Urza Saga. Maybe I should be. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and get it now because we know we're drawing bad cards. And I just want to be mana efficient. Swamp is actually better because we can do more stuff with Swamp. Green is less important color. Okay, Wasteland's great. I'm just going to waste this. Slow him down. Strix. Plus. Next turn we have, if we find Kaito, we do have the card for Kaito. They generally can't interact with Kaito. Kaito does generally win against them. It's not a lock. Okay, this is great. Sphere. I'm going to force it. Plus. Land. Attack. Pass. We draw our deck. We Kaito. And we have to attack a bunch of times. Pachuca Bog doesn't matter. They can port us. It does take up our time. That's fine. Let's get our Kaito online. We did draw Kaito. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm not even going to look at my hand. I got 30 seconds. There's no way we're winning, but I think we actually would have won this game, but we couldn't have conceded that other game. We had to play it out. Well, let's go to combat. Oh, actually, they can do it now. They're targeting this. Black. Doesn't matter. Okay. We do, I guess, want to do something with this mana. Yeah. If we'd gotten the force, I think the force is in our hand, so I misplayed, and it's going to cost us. We're at 9 seconds. I'll wish them luck. Yeah, we did have Kaito. So let's talk about what would have happened as our life ticks down. If you ever watched that terrible Justin Timberlake movie. Basically, he says GG back. They say GG back. So we wouldn't have had time to do enough attacks, but I do think we would have won. And I do think that Kaito is so good against lands that, it's a surprise, kind of like an upset loss that we lost here. But I mean, I didn't even look at my hand. I didn't even know what was in here because I didn't have time. Yeah, that's just like, I gotta learn how to play faster, I guess. Or this is a very click intensive deck. There's a lot of decision making, and the lands control matchups, those frequently do go to time, especially in paper. But like on MTGO, you don't really have an excuse. It's your own fault if you go to time. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break, eat a pretzel, and then I'm gonna come back and do the final round. Final round, we're up against an unknown opponent. We've got a decent hand. I think we keep. We're on the play. I think it's totally fine to just open Tamiyo here. Uh-oh, they're mulliganing. They could be a combo. So we do have the option of not tipping our hand and just playing Misty Rainforest, which can surveil. I do think we go ahead and lead with Tamiyo, though. Just in case they, like, Tamiyo creating a clue, if they don't have a way to interact, that can be really helpful. We have a path to 2 basics here. And we can, potentially outdraw them if they're doing a fair strategy. Volcanic Island. Faithless Looting. Okay, so we got a Dredge player, probably. We don't have a great matchup against Dredge. I think the only thing we have against Dredge are we of course have the blue-red blast, the Hydroblasts, and we have Force Negation, and we have the 3 Grafdigger's Cage, and we can take out all our spot removal. So I think I already have our strategy in place here. Yeah, double Dredger. We're not going to do well here. I'm trying to think of what we could draw a main deck that would be good here. I'm drawing a blank. I really can't think of anything that's particularly strong here. Spell Pierce. They're already dredging. They're already off to the races. I don't think Spell Pierce really helps. I am going to go ahead and just create a clue. And we will hold up Spell Pierce and Orcish Bowmasters. Bowmasters can ping itself, which can get rid of their bridges in certain situations. That might be good. These cards are completely dead. The Fatal Push and the Murderous Cut. We also have Clue Activation if they put like a creature on the stack that we have to pierce or force. I don't like that line though. I would much rather pierce and surveil here. They're going to Dredge 6. Banned in Modern. Too powerful. They got a Narcomoeba. They do have Bridge from Below. They have Cabal Therapy. Okay, so this is our window to poke ourselves. From here, if we get rid of that bridge, they still have another troll to dredge next turn. I think we let it happen. I'm not going to, because they do have, well, let's see if they immediately go for the therapy to get the token. So once this kicks it off, then they have all the creatures they need basically to win. Okay, Cephalid Coliseum. We can Spell Pierce a Faithless Looting. I think that's probably actually fine if that's what they go for here. That'll slow them down a lot. We can't stop them from using the Coliseum. So wait. So now that they're going to get this, and we can't stop this trigger. I was going to say what we could do is we could reduce the total number of cards in their graveyard. They actually have exactly 6 cards in their graveyard now. So we could get rid of their bridge, and then they don't have the ability to use Coliseum this turn, but next turn they will have the ability. I think we just let this happen. They're not going to name. Let's see, Threshold. So they do have Threshold now. Technically, they could have just activated in response if they wanted to. This is on the stack. I think we just let it happen. It'll be interesting to see what they name here. In general, Dredge has like something like an 80 or 90% game 1 win rate. Like almost all the games that you're going to win against Dredge are going to be post-board. They named Orcish Bowmasters. Wow. That makes sense, though, because I did think in certain places. So, yeah. That was a good name. And now they basically have free reign. Like, this doesn't even matter, because Orcish Bowmasters doesn't matter in the sense that it's not going to stop them from drawing. I think this game is over. I think we just let them do this, and we hope to interact some other point. I don't know how we would. They found some more dredgers. They found another Cabal Therapy. They know what's in our hand. Even if we therapy, they're going to be able to get more creatures off of Bridge from... No, wait. They won't necessarily. So they can flashback therapy, but they don't actually get the creatures here. No, wait. Do they have Poxwalkers? They do have Poxwalkers. So yeah, they can therapy, they'll get a Poxwalker, and then they can therapy again. And we can only stop one of them. It's worth noting that I did have a window when they were doing that to like Fatal Push, but that window is closed. So I can actually Fatal Push now. I Fatal Push the Poxwalkers, but they get another creature. Wait, I can Fatal Push Tamiyo. I guess I could have done that earlier. It just feels terrible. Yeah, it sucks, but like this is very much closing the barn door after the car's gotten out. And then I think I'm just going to therapy still resolves anyway. Yeah, I don't think this was a strong play. So Bridge from Below is gone. Now they're going to get a chance to get a creature back. I can pierce this, but it doesn't really matter. It does save Murderous Cut in my hand. I think it's more useful to surveil here than it is to stop them from taking one of these cards. Yeah, and I could have done that in a different sequence. Let's just see what we find here. That's going in the graveyard. Yeah, I think it's better. Like, we're drawing to... I genuinely don't know what we could draw that would be consequential here. They did name our Murderous Cut. Bowmasters wouldn't be terrible because we could at least ping that and stop them from doing other stuff. But they'll likely flip another Narcomoeba, but I think they play 4. I'm going to go ahead and start by doing this. If we find a Wasteland, that doesn't really do anything. Yeah, we might as well play this out, and then we can just get an Underground Sea and pierce something. I think that's literally all the interaction we have left in our deck. We're just hoping to see the rest of their deck. They have lots of things they can do. They've got Otherworldly Gaze. They do have 5 cards in hand. They can dredge at least 3 here, or at least 6. They do still have 1 therapy in the graveyard, and they know what to cast it on. So there's not even any... Denying them a look at our hand is not terrible. They didn't find a Bridge from Below yet. So if we pierce this, they're not going to... I think it dies, and I'm not sure if it comes back immediately. I think it may. I will bring in Consigns. I think Consigns stops Narcomoeba triggers, which is relevant. Right. I'm going to hold this just in case we find a Brainstorm. Fatal Push. Fatal Push is so bad, but it's better than nothing. Yeah, I'm going to play this out, and I think I do probably wait to see what they dredge, and then I just put a stop in their draw step so we can decide whether we want to push this. If we push this later, they may dredge a... yeah, I think I'm just going to push it now. Oh, wait, it's a 3-drop. And, yeah, it's not going to even kill it. Oh, they're doing something. So this will, when they do something, I will have a chance to fetch. Okay, that probably accomplishes nothing. And again, I hope this isn't like boring to watch me play it out when we're like 1% to win. But I am going to keep trying. It's possible that their Narcomoebas are all at the bottom of their deck and they're not going to have a creature to kick off the chain again. I'm just going to pierce whatever they cast here. Otherworldly Gaze. I think I do have to pierce Otherworldly Gaze. Oh, they get it right back. Yeah, I'm just going to concede. This is going nowhere. Yeah, I didn't think about the fact they have Otherworldly... I think they have 2 copies of Otherworldly Gaze in their graveyard. Then they have Faithless Looting next turn. Poxwalkers was just a huge windfall for Dredge strategies. Okay, so Cage is coming in. On the play, Thoughtseize comes in. As bad as it may seem, it does potentially take out their enablers on the play. Force Negation comes in. Hydroblast comes in. Cards that are coming out, all our spot removal. I think we can take out some of our lands. I'll take out a fetch. They're not going to interact with our lands. I do want to have the basics just in case I need to turn on. Yeah, but we need the wastelands. Witherbloom command. Let's see, is this any good? I don't think this is good. It returns like a wasteland, but I don't see a situation where that's good. They're not going to have any permanents in play other than creatures. Killing like a Narcomoeba or something, I don't think is good enough. It's just too mana intensive. So I think we take these out. Spell Pierce is good. Murderous Cut comes out. Tamiyo's pretty terrible against them. Like we just don't have enough time. Like the game will not last more than like 3 or 4 turns. But you could argue that Tamiyo may be better than Ice-fang because at least she comes down quickly and enables a quick Kaito kill. So yeah, I think that that's probably correct. I think I'm going to split it. Oh, I mean, if we're taking out Ice-fang, I'm taking out some of my basics. Yeah, I'm going to take these out. I just don't think they're relevant. And I'd rather have this fetch in because this fetch can get a surveilling and stuff. Okay, going down to 19 lands or 18 lands. Oh, we can bring in one more card. I think a Consign can come in. Harbinger's not good. They use blue a lot. They don't even necessarily need mana. And it's really slow. We'll see if I get completely mana screwed as a result of my decision to take 2 lands out. Well, let's see. Could one of these... Yeah, I mean, like, one of these would have been... I took out, like, a land for a Consign, so I'm not going to count that. But, yeah, that is, like, our best draw. I think this is fine. I'm going to keep this. This is not great. I would have much rather kept the previous hand. Yeah, I've just... Too many times I've kept what I thought was an okay hand and then just, like, hope to draw on land and then never drawn it. So I just don't keep no-landers anymore, period. Like, I'm just not here for it anymore. So this is Force, on Force, and then we have Spell Pierce as well. Spell Pierce is practically Force against their deck. We have Wasteland for their Cephalid Coliseum. We don't have any way to dig for anything. We're just chilling. So I am almost certainly going to want to not have to Pierce here and to fetch the Surveil Land. In fact, I think because the Surveil Land is so important, I'm actually going to wait until next turn to do it because no, it's fine. I'll just pitch Force to Force and then I'll Surveil. But we're basically just digging for Grafdigger's Cage. That card just wins the game. There is a card called Shenanigans that some Dredge players have been playing against me that does stop Cage. And it has Dredge itself, so it doesn't really matter. You can just keep doing it. They're not doing anything, so this does mean I get the Surveil trigger. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was just clicking through the draw step. I still have a draw trigger set. So this is probably Pier. They're going to do it after I fetch the Surveil Land, but that's okay because I've already committed to forcing whatever their first card is. Okay, here it is. Otherworldly Gaze. So we're not going to have black with our current mana base, but I think this Surveil is really important. I can't wait for a land. We're going to go fast. Force is not terrible. I'm just going to play a land and held up Pierce, and then we'll try to force the next thing they do. Probably going to have to Pierce their Otherworldly Gaze, but they usually wait to upkeep. Good Dredge players usually wait to upkeep, so that way you have to use mana from that turn cycle. The way this, like, I'll kind of articulate some of how this match works in my mind. They have Faithless Looting, they have Otherworldly Gaze, they have Breakthrough. Those are the cards that get the initial card into their graveyard that they can then dredge. If you stop those, then they just have to sit there for a long time. Also, they have LED. That's the other card. And if you stop those spells, then they're just sitting there and they're not doing anything. But you have to be able to capitalize on it, which we're unable to do with our current configuration. So that first hand was insane. It would have been Force, but we may have never drawn the land. Okay. Therapy. This always names Force. I'm going to let them. They name Endurance. Interesting. Okay, and now they're passing, and they can't Otherworldly Gaze, so we get a turn where we can do stuff. I'm going to go ahead and waste them. They may be multi-queuing because they're just taking forever. Like, I play really slowly, and they're like, I'm up like 5 minutes on them. Otherworldly Gaze. I'm going to just pierce this. Then I'm going to waste them, and I'm just going to try to buy time. They now have lots of things they can flash back, but they need more lands, and they may not have more lands. And if you think like, oh, you're really like overdoing it with like stopping these Otherworldly Gaze, they can just straight up win. I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I hold this Ponder. I don't think it's a winning proposition. If I hold it till next turn, I can force a really important spell. Oh. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold it for a turn since I already have this turn locked. And that gives me the option of, like, there's a chance that they do, like, Flashback Therapy, and they name the force, and then that's like a turn that they didn't do anything else. And next turn I can Ponder, if that makes sense. But I do want to hold up the... because if they, like, break through here, that's going to be incredibly powerful, and we do need to stop that. Okay, Colosseum. They can flash back. All right, and they're going to do it during my upkeep. I think we let them. Actually, if we stop this, it does... But they can just do it again next turn. Yeah, I'm going to let them do it. I don't want to pitch my Ponder. Because Ponder is going to dig me into action. I still may be able... They're not presenting red. I still may be able to find... off this Ponder, a Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, there's a Narcomoeba. They have Dredger and Stinkweed Imp. So they have the chain, basically. They can therapy. So when they... Yeah, let's see what we get here. Okay, another Wasteland is great. I'm going to go ahead and Ponder first. Like, the dam is already broken. The only thing that can plug it is a Grafdigger's Cage. So I'm literally shuffling anything that doesn't have Grafdigger's Cage, I think. Okay, we found Grafdigger's Cage. That's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to waste, and I'm going to Grafdigger's Cage. And then the next turn, if they don't blow up my Grafdigger's Cage, which, again, they have the ability to do, then we could get Tamiyo going before we play the land. Yeah, I think the land is less important. I want to get Tamiyo going next turn because that's an actual path of victory. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and waste them here. Okay, and if they get rid of this, the game's over, almost certainly. They can therapy the Brainstorm out of my hand. They won't get a creature for it. Actually, if they dredge and they get Bridge from below, they may be able to do that. They could still, like, if they dredge, they find Poxwalkers and Bridge from below, or multiple Poxwalkers, we could die. Actually, they can't cast therapy anymore. Never mind. Grafdigger's Cage really does shut off a lot in their deck. It's way better than a card like Nile Spellbomb is, in my humble opinion. I've lost a lot of games against Dredge when they have Nile Spellbomb, or when I have Nile Spellbomb. I haven't lost very many games where I have Grafdigger's Cage. But there is that card, Shenanigans, that I'm worried about. Our opponent's down to like 10 minutes. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe they just win so fast, but like, I genuinely think they're doing more than one thing at a time. Okay, they milled Bridge from below. Okay, none of this stuff is consequential. Did they find another Dredger? They found a Cephalid Colosseum. So they can dredge. If they have that Shenanigans card in their deck, they can find it. But they don't have a red source that I can see. Unless like there's a red source in their hand. They should go ahead and attack here. So Ox can't come out. But they do have Threshold now. Okay, so we're going to play the Tamiyo. I mean, the other alternative is we just hang back and protect, but I don't think that's correct. I think we need to be proactive here. If they have it, they will eventually dig to it. They're about to dredge like their entire deck. The fact that they're still playing makes me think they have... Okay, they're not playing anymore. All right. Whew. Okay, so... I mean, like, I'm pretty shook by the fact that we didn't have quite enough land last time. Like, that first hand was so good. I think we could just take out Thoughtseize here. I don't think it's good on the draw. I do think Consign's good. So we can bring in 2 Consigns. Yeah, I think we Consign. That way, we can at least stop some of the triggers. I mean, it could be that like several triggers go on the stack at the same time and we can sign several of them. The fact that they name Endurance, they may have misread our deck because we are playing green. Oh, wow. Hopefully they don't therapy immediately. We're on the draw. If they therapy immediately and they get it, I'm going to stop and think for a long time because I don't want them to have confidence that we have a good hand. Because I feel like Grafdigger's Cage would be a snap keep, so we shouldn't keep Grafdigger's Cage. All right, let's see if they have both Black Source and a therapy. If they do, they may win. They'll likely win. Okay, no play. Let's go. Force would be insane here. They're going to... What are they doing in our upkeep? I think they probably tapped it over to a different game. Okay, there. Force. Insane. Insane. Let's get our Underground Sea here. Let's get our Grafdigger's Cage out. The problem with Shenanigans is it is recurring. Like every turn they can attempt to blow it up. So we need to keep our Hydroblast because it is a red spell. But I think Grafdigger's Cage does lock them out, basically. They might have some pivot in their sideboard for Grafdigger's Cage matchups. Cephaly Coliseum. LED. I think we let LED happen. We're all in on protecting Cage. Otherworldly Gaze. We're all in on protecting Cage. I don't think we can lose with Cage out. Double Dredger in the bin. Right. Ponder. I want to find a land. I'm going to look for a land. Any land and we have Hydroblast up. These aren't lands. We're going to chill. I'm worried. I'm shook. Yeah, I think that's what that means, worried. Consign is going to do the pitch. They're going to dredge. They're not dredging. There's the red source. Faithless Looting. Go for it. We are protecting the Cage. They have a red source. Now we need a wasteland to get rid of that red source. Satoru's in the graveyard. Therapy. No creature to flashback. Another LED. They're going to have a lot of mana. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. Otherworldly Gaze is fine. Okay, they put Dread Return and the Faithless Looting in the bin. They could cast creatures from hand, but LED's not going to help them do that. Force of Negation is a great card. Can't do anything. I'm just going to discard a... Our entire hand is blue. I think I'm going to discard a Coatl. So one option is they could like dredge their entire deck basically and then cast Oracle from hand. But I imagine they do have Shenanigans in their deck. I'm just surprised they're not dredging to find it. If they Shenanigans, I will force the negation it, and then we won't have to worry about it coming back, and then I think we win. They could have a creature that enters and kills it. I'm just trying to think of why we're still playing this game. 5 minutes, 30 seconds on their clock. Thassa's Oracle. This is fine. They can't cast cards in their graveyard, so they actually don't have a way of putting this back in the graveyard, I don't think. I'm not going to consign the trigger. This is what I was thinking. Like, they could have just held that in their hand and gone for a Thassa's Oracle win by clearing their graveyard. They're not going to be able to attack me to death in 5 minutes with a 1-3. All right, let's keep looking at cards. Land, please. Land. I think actually it was a mistake for me to put back Ice-fang Coatl because I do want to play the Strix, but I'm going to chill for a turn. We have lots of interaction up. Because Ice-fang Coatl can come in after we're sure that they're not going to do anything. They should be dredging here. I don't know what they're drawing to. They're not dredging. Careful Study is fine. Again, we're just protecting. We're in Protect the Queen mode. There's a Narcomoeba. It can't enter. Neither of those Narcomoebas can enter. Maybe they didn't realize that. No, they chose not to use the ability. Okay, they're going to attack for 1. It's fine. Just do that 18 more times in 4 minutes. I'm going to Surveil. Looking for more land, I think. I think that's a keep. That allows us to Strix and get even deeper into our deck while also holding up mana. Black, blue. I'm not going to block this because I don't want this to go to their graveyard. Because if it's in their graveyard, it gives them some ways they might be able to win that I can't think of. I am technically winning the race. So if we drop to 16, they drop to 15. Yeah, I'm winning the race.
Actually, I'll crack this and they'll be winning the race. But if they tap this, then I'll be winning the race again. Okay, they're doing something. It's important that they're doing this now because I can't Force of Negation. Okay, let's get their graveyard over here. They got lots of bridges. I don't think they have a way to... Oh, there's the shenanigans. This is what I was talking about. Destroy target artifact, Dredge. It is a sorcery. They have to cast it and I can negate it. I believe they probably just play one copy. Force of Negation. We're going to pitch a Hydroblast at this point. Maybe a Consign. They don't necessarily need to play more than one. Okay, we did it. We beat them. Okay, so losses. This one. Let's take a look at our game history. Losses obviously to Delthar on lands. I think I can't remember. It's been a really long day. I recorded all 10 of these in one day. All 10 of these matches in one morning. I guess it's well into the afternoon now. So let's take a look at the list. I don't see any changes to make, frankly. I think this list is great. It felt great. Sideboard felt great. 3 Grafdigger's Cage. We saw how powerful that was in the final round. We saw how good Harbinger was against lands. And it did win that one game. And, so I think we won 6 out of the 10 games. 6 out of the 10 matches. And we easily, if we played just a little bit faster, like 1 minute faster, I feel confident we could have won that lands match. Other than that, I think like all the games were interesting. This list feels extremely well-rounded. With only 6 green cards in the deck, I don't think Endurance is a candidate. I do think Endurance is a really good card. I don't see a way to get the count higher other than putting Endurance literally in the deck. You could argue that Endurance should be in the deck. It's really good against graveyard strategies, and it can be pitch cast, but I like the value. Endurance is a slow card. It's against Eldrazi. You're never going to get to 3 mana. If you do, then you're like, oh yeah, that was one of our losses. We lost to Eldrazi. I can't remember all the other ones we lost. We lost 2 other ones. But I had a blast. This is a blast to play. Kaito is great. Kaito is at his best, in my humble opinion, bouncing an Ice-fang Quaddle, bouncing a Strix, bouncing a Bowmaster, bouncing a Tamiyo, something that like has already generated value. The only question I have is like Murderous Cup felt great. We never didn't have something we could delve away. In some situations, it's actually beneficial to be able to delve away creatures from your graveyard. I love this. I'm going to play some more leagues with it. Let me know what you think. If you have suggestions for how it can be improved. I felt the 3 basics were perfect for being able to turn on Ice-fang without us over encumbering. A lot of people are like, oh, let's play a lot of basics. But no, you do want to play lots of dual lands so you can reliably cast your spells. Like colorless mana doesn't do anything in this deck except there's like a 1 mana for Kaito and 1 mana for Bowmasters, right? And then I guess technically Murderous Cut, which you never pay more than 1 black for usually. So you don't want a lot of colorless mana. And what you find is when you play a lot of basics, you're tapping a lot of them for colorless mana. Even with the sideboard, like everything is pretty color intensive. So I would say that I think this is way better than Esper. I suspect this is better than Blue-Black. And the reason comes down to Witherbloom. Witherbloom is a freaking house. It's so good against Chalice. It's so good. It's just so flexible. And I would love to play a third one, but I think it's greedy to play a third one. There were lots of situations where I was like, man, I really wish I have a third one. Well, let me tell you, when you're playing 3 of them and you get 2 of them in your hand and you don't have the mana to cast them immediately, they do feel pretty clunky. I feel like Ice-fang Quaddle is actually way better than Baleful Strix in this list because you can hold up Spell Pierce and then you can, and Hydroblast and like Consign, all those things we were holding up against Dredge. You can hold those up and then you can just end step this. That's so powerful. Also, it has the ability to ambush a Bowmasters, which is not nothing. Like obviously, okay, let me correct that. Technically, if you couldn't ambush a Bowmaster because the Bowmaster would just shoot in response when the draw trigger happens. So never mind. But it could ambush like a other creatures, and also it can lead your opponents to think that their planeswalkers are safer than they actually are. It can definitely be good against a Teferi. We didn't play against Teferi, but if they Teferi and you put Ice-fang out, then okay, I guess I'll bounce it, and then you get to draw an extra card next turn. It's not as powerful against Teferi as Bowmasters. There is a lot of Teferi going around. Teferi's in breakfast decks, it's in Bant Naughty decks, and it's in a lot of the Beanstalk and 4-color control type decks. So that is a consideration. I'm not just completely stretching for justification for including it. Is it a 4 of? I feel like if you play 1, you should probably play 4 because they see each other and you're already making the deck building conceit to include the basics. But I feel like 3 basics is totally justifiable. 3 Wastelands felt right. Being able to recur Wasteland, you're kind of getting like a 4th and 5th Wasteland if you really need them. But we're never trying to tempo our opponent out. We're just shutting off tempo lands. This was good. It wasn't great against lands because they had so many, loams and stuff like that. But it can shut off in a pinch. Play Wasteland in your control deck is all I'm saying. Like, don't play a control deck without Wasteland. I've made that mistake so much. It's really hard to reliably win if you're doing like Esper Stoneblade and you don't have a Wasteland to clear their, Maze of Ith that they're walling your Cauldron with, right? So anyway, I've talked a lot. You've watched very far into this video. If you've watched the whole thing, I just want to thank you for tuning in to the Be Excellent channel. I hope you're learning a lot. I hope this was a suitable debut for my deck. I will propose the name 1000 Cuts because it really is death by 1000 cuts. Tiny little 1 for 1 damage here, 2 damage here, 1 damage here, Bowmaster pings, and then Kaito swinging for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Or we saw, I think, swinging for 8 is what my opponent. Oh, yeah, this is the other match we lost, the Kaito mirror. That was so fun, by the way. All right, until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.